Mike, turn your games down.
Cyber episode 341 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's deliberately taking the longest time possible to loot a guy with me tonight?
It's the prequel that surpasses the original Kerry Carusetta.
Well, there you go. It's Nate.
Ian, and I have 100% in this game, so suck it.
Nice.
Wow. It only took me 200 hours!
That's a lie. It took me 400 hours.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Every time I think about going back to 100% the game, I go, I don't want to ruin this for me.
I definitely plan to come close, but there's some of the stuff in the game I just cannot make myself care about. Like the dinosaur bones.
Dinosaur bones aren't bad. Worst part of that whole thing is getting the gambler stuff where they say, all right, you're going to play 21, but you have to hit 5 times without busting and still win.
Right.
And it's oh my God.
I can never get good at 5-finger fillet or fillet. 5-finger fillet.
I didn't do any of that shit. Like, you guys talking about fossils, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, you got to get one fossil, so you get a reward for the one fossil, and then you don't really get anything for all the other fossils.
I didn't get any, so we are here to talk about a game that I've been planning for like months for us to finally get to. I even had to set up 3 weeks for me to play this game with nothing else going on. It's not like me. Red Dead Redemption 2, developed and published by Rockstar Games, and came out in 2018, and then PC was 2019. And the Stadia was on the Stadia.
It was on Stadia. That's amazing.
There was a great story about this guy who had it on Stadia, and he named his horse after his kid or something. His kid ended up dying. Somebody died, whoever the horse was named after, and so that was his link to this person. And when they talked about shutting down the Stadia, he finally just, like the last possible day, he let the horse go, and it was like this, I don't know, like symbolic thing. He's like, all right, I'm letting everything go. I'm now moving on. But it was just this kind of sad story, but also kind of a like, okay, video games are now finite. It's not like Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo where I could just go back at any time on, frankly, anything and play it. You know? Now we're getting to this thing where I've invested so much time and I have an emotional connection, and they're just saying, oh, that sucks. Bye-bye.
Well, if it's streaming, yeah. And I think Stadia was all streaming, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of just technology, but hey, good news. There's always other ways to play something as time
I'll
goes.
say I had Stadia and it worked really, really well for me. And then when they shuttered it, they refunded all your purchases, so I got my money back. So it's so it's like I got and also I sold my Stadia package that I got, like, so I actually ended up making money from Stadia. So I ended up $60 profit from Stadia, so worked out for me.
Which is about as much profit as Google made.
Probably a negative profit, but
yeah,
yes.
I will say that might be. I might have beaten Google on that one.
So I had I had never played this game. I did not realize this game was as old as it is. Did not realize it was 2018. I thought it was like 2020, 2021. So I was a little shocked. Never played it. It's been on my mind ever since it came out, because we did Red Dead 1 on the show. I really enjoyed Red Dead 1 the 2 times I played it. And I've been meaning to get to this, and then I was like, fuck it, this is the year. We were going to do it. And yeah, that's my history. What about you, Kerry?
I played Red Dead Redemption 1 for the first time for this podcast. Loved it. And so I was very eager to finally get to play this for this podcast. So, but I never played it until it was time to play it for the podcast.
And Nate.
I got this at launch and took me from October 26th when it came out to December 13th, 14th to finish the game. It's amazing. It's my favorite game of all time.
That's awesome.
All right. It deserves it. And Ian.
I have, like I said, I did 100% completion. This game kind of came out at an interesting point in my life. I had just kind of moved about a year prior to where I live now. I had met the woman that was going to become my wife, many years down the road after I convinced her that it was a good idea, and she agreed. I got this as soon as I could, and I remember sitting in my apartment, and she would come over to visit, and she would fall asleep on the couch as I'm just like ambling around on my horse in like the mountains and just trying to find like anything. And she actually still talks about it. It's funny. She's like, "Do you still have that cowboy game with the horses and the nice music? I need to fall asleep again." But I just Red Dead 1 was such an amazing game, like from beginning to end, and I'm a little afraid to go back and play it.
Feel good.
I still have very strong memories of it. Like I remember those two idiots they're like the FBI agents or whatever they were coming down in that like clockwork car around the end when you're in that town and you remember buying the house kit from like Sears or something and they delivered it building the house, but I that game was amazing and I thought, how can you top that? And I played this and I thought, holy crap, this game is from top to bottom, beginning to end, it was stunning. But it was interesting because I had played Grand Theft Auto 5 about a year prior, and there was a lot of DNA from Grand Theft Auto 5, like that beginning mission. In Grand Theft Auto 5, I think it was like the bank heist that goes wrong. In this one, you have the heist that goes wrong and you're in the snow. So there was a lot of like kind of interesting similarities between the two, but God, Red Dead 1 was such a good game. It was such a good game.
The thing is with this game is in my opinion, this game is really nothing like Red Dead 1 because this is a survival game at heart. And if you don't realize that and you don't accept it, this game is not fun for you to play.
How do you mean?
When I first started playing this, I didn't sleep. I didn't eat food. My cores for my health and my stamina were garbage. I'm like, why am I dying in like a couple of hits? Like, what the fuck is up with this game? And then I realized, I think maybe Nate, you said something in the chat that helped me understand this game. I don't remember what it was, but you guys all were giving me advice that helped me enjoy this game. But no, then I started sleeping. I started paying more attention to what the cores look like. I just started understanding the game.
Yeah, I love that game. He says the way I was going to say it's different from Red Dead 1 is that Red Dead 1 is a lot like sillier. You know, you have like, is his name Nate, the grave robber guy?
It is.
Yeah, in Red Dead 1 you have like
those are just allegations. It's still in the court.
You've got the grave robber guy, you've got the snake oil salesman. And it's just to me, Red Dead 1 is much sillier in that kind of classic GTA style, whereas this game is a lot more serious. And it does have some of the zany, silly stuff. And actually, when the zany, silly stuff happens, it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. But this game has a much like more serious story, it feels like, and more serious characters, more serious side quests. And that's how it's different to me. But then, yeah, you're right. It has that survival stuff, which is just my bread and butter. I love that kind of stuff in a game. I was all like, all right, I'm going to row this boat because I figured out like rowing the boat really builds up your health core. So I'm just like rowing the boat back and forth on the lake, building up my health core. And I would run around and just like sprint until I would completely run out of stamina to build up my stamina core and stuff. So I enjoyed that kind of stuff. I got really upset because I really like built up this one horse. I named it Malaria, which is Gus's horse in Lonesome Dove that he has to shoot when he's having to use as like a shelter whenever he's fighting the kidnapper gang. I don't know. Lonesome Dove is one of my favorite movies. And I had really built up Malaria and built up his health cores and all that kind of stuff. And then I left him somewhere and I got on another horse and brought it back to camp. And that changed that. Now that new horse is my horse and Malaria is just gone forever. And I was like,
I think you can still get it back.
I couldn't. I went to like stables and it's like,
okay, he never returned.
Yeah, he didn't return. Like once,
okay,
because I left him behind and got on another and then stole a horse. And so now I had to start over if a new horse is like very basic, low level horse. So then I went to go catch that white like ghost horse.
Legendary one in this game or something?
Yeah, I caught him, but he bucked me off and ran off. And I was like, fuck it. I'll just build up this default horse. But yeah, there's a white Arabian that hangs out on the shores of this lake up in kind of like the northern mountains that's has really good stats.
So I want you to guess how many survival games I have played up to this point before playing Red Dead 2.
I don't know. Not if you're thinking of this as a survival game, then probably not many, I guess.
0.
Oh, okay.
To me, Steam calls it a survival game, actually.
No, it is. I was just, when you say survival game, I think like Minecraft or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. That's what I thought too. I was not, like, when I went into this game, I was expecting Red Dead 1, like, an open world shooter where I can fast travel places easily. Like, this game is the most deliberate game I have ever played on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. Like, I did not know anything about the game other than I knew it was a long game. I knew it was a huge open world, and I knew people loved it. I did not realize what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, it's so immersive. I like that idea of like I would like periodically take a break and go hunting and build up my food stores and cook and eat and make sure to sleep every day cycle so that I kept up my health. I like that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what I wanted to just do forever with the game. And so I spent a lot of time in the game just like wandering around, like hunting and doing the legendary animal hunts and all that kind of stuff. And then realized I ran out of time and didn't have time to beat the game before the podcast, unfortunately. And I had a chance. I was like, well, I guess I can just like mainline through the quest and just like bam, 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 start knocking this out.
You still wouldn't have beat it in time.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have. But also I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
No, you don't.
I started doing that and I started speeding through just quest. And I was like, wait, this isn't fun. The fun was just like living in the world. And occasionally I'll do a quest, but mostly I'm just riding around, just see some cops with treating a prisoner badly. Let's kill the cops and release the prisoner, that kind of thing.
No, I'm glad that you didn't rush through it because there are things in this game that happen. I mean, you watch the story recap where once it's not the same. Like you lose your whole camp at a certain point. So it kind of like for what you're doing, you won't be able to do it for a while. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's true.
There is so many just things that have, especially like out in the bayou. There's like hauntings and there's just people kind of wandering around. And who's that? I can't remember. I was thinking about him all day. That idiot that's always wandering around yelling for who's the name he's yelling out? I can't remember.
Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah.
He's always looking for Gav. And I read this interesting thing a couple of years ago because he never finds him, right? And so there's all these like theories on Gav. Is Gavin like lover? Is he his brother? Is he somebody? And like the prevailing theory is that Gavin died a long time ago, and the guy is just out there trying to like release his grief into the world. But you come across him multiple times, and that's just one tiny little thing that you come across a lot. And it's just this game. I remember I was on the BioShock Infinite podcast, and we were talking about just kind of like the level of detail in the game and how it was very pretty. And I remember talking about how in Metal Gear Solid 2, if you shot stuff, it would actually react to getting shot. Back on PlayStation 2 20-something years ago, right? And how in BioShock Infinite, yeah, the game's beautiful and there's a lot going on, but it doesn't react. This game, everything reacts, and it makes you want to do anything to see what can be done. I can't remember how many hours I spent probably just lassoing people and like carrying them around either behind me or on the horse or tying them to railroad tracks or something, and there's just one little thing, and there's so many things, and that's what led me to this 100%. But like,
you can tie them to the railroad tracks.
You tie them up and then you place them on the railroad track.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Right.
The achievement in Red Dead 1, I know that. I don't know. I didn't look at achievements in this game.
There's just, such a plethora of things to do, and the way people react fairly organically to what you're doing too, and sort of to the point of rushing through it and hitting just the missions. You miss such an experience by doing that, and
I agree.
It's crazy.
No, I know I missed the point of this game by playing it in the course of 3 weeks and doing only the missions. Like, Nate, I know you were talking in the chat about how when you first played this game, you played it every day for 3 months?
Yeah, just about every day, yeah. And the world in Red Dead 2 is just so wonderfully crafted that, like, I would be on my way to do main mission stuff, and I'd get distracted by 6 other things. And I'd find myself, like, going from Lemoyne up to the mountains, just exploring. And I never felt like my time was wasted, like, exploring side stuff. I never felt like, oh, that wasn't worth it. Now I have to travel all the way back down south.
Yeah, it was always fun to just, like, ride around.
I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it happened to me this playthrough too. My first horse died back in 2018, like the first time I was playing this game. And I was like, oh no, now I have to carry my saddle all the way to a stable because the game had just come out. No one, like everyone online, like that I saw was talking about like how deep the systems were for this game and how realistic it was. I was like, if I don't take this saddle back from the mountains all the way to Valentine, I'm not going to have any of my guns and I'm going to have to repurchase them. That is not a thing in the game. Like if your horse dies, you can just go to a stable and get your saddle back.
If your horse dies, you can just make a camp, and then when you break up the camp, if you whistle, a generic horse will come to you wearing your saddle and everything.
Well, that's good, at least.
I discovered that by
cool.
I sold because after my horse like disappeared, I sold my like default horse, and I discovered that on accident when I had no horse, that if I just camped, that it would just summon a horse basically.
That's good that the game does a few gamey things at times, because this game feels so realistic that I was very surprised where they went with this game.
Yeah. But like carrying my saddle all the way back to a stable, even though it wasn't necessary, it enhanced the world that I was like experiencing. That I was like, yeah, if this happened in real life and I wanted to keep, that shotgun I found, I need to carry this for a long time.
But I don't like stuff like that in game, personally. Like, this game was too realistic for me with how deliberate it was. Take a drink every time I say the word deliberate. Like, that's all I could think of as I played this game is, my God, like, I don't want to watch him loot a guy and pick him up and go through a couple pockets. I'm like, I just want to run over his body, press the button, get the items, and keep going. And yes, I know that's not what the game is going for. I know that's not the game that I was playing. But these are little things that bothered me for over 10 hours. This game, I thought it was a piece of shit until Chapter 3. Into Chapter 3, I did not like this game at all.
That's crazy to me. I love how immersive it is.
But that's not what I like. It was too much for me. It was too immersive, and I wanted it to be more gamey. I wanted a shooter. I wanted a third-person open-world shooter, and I was expecting more Red Dead 1, not what I got at first. And it took me a while to accept the game for what it was. Like, I didn't realize you could order new stuff for the camp until Chapter 3. Like, it wasn't until Chapter 4 that I realized you could restock food, and I was missing one of the things to upgrade for the camp. I just was going over the page and not realizing it. Like, it took me a while to just on some of these things, because there's just so many options in this game. And like, once I understood the game, like I said, once I understood to eat and sleep, and I understood how the shooting works better, I understood just the game in general, I had a great time. Nate, you did a lifesaver for me, because I was really worried about the bounties, and you're like, don't worry about it. Don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're actually that concerned, give up your money in the box and go get arrested, and it doesn't matter. And that helped me, too. You helped me.
You think that might have been because you were rushing the game?
Yes.
Like, you were coming at it from a different angle than the rest of everybody is.
Yeah, you were speeding through it, I think.
And I knew that. That's why I gave you guys over 6 months to do this. And kind of like planned. Like, I planned it out way in advance for you guys, because I didn't want anyone to do what I was doing. I didn't want anyone to have to experience it the way I knew I was going to, because that's just who I am. And I accept that. And I run a podcast and play games every week, multiple. So, but no, this is not that type of game, and that's why I struggled with it at first. But once I started to finally understand the game, I fell in love with it. I mean, this game is amazing.
Yeah,
it is a masterpiece, and I get it.
It is now one of my favorite games I've ever played. Like, it's absolutely one of my top favorite games now. I'm so glad I got to play it.
But if you guys wouldn't,
it's so good. It's so immersive.
Given me the advice that you did, I don't know if I would have kept playing had it not been like, I had to.
Yeah.
Because I've beaten every game of this podcast except for technically 4. But issues were, well, 1, I got to the final boss and the game froze and I could not get it to load past the ROM and I wasn't going to replay it. So that's either way. But very few games on the podcast I don't finish. And if I wouldn't have had to do this for podcast, I might have given up because I was having that bad of a time at first until Chapter 3. That's when the game started to click.
Yeah, see, it has so many, all those things you're saying, like, that's what I love about it. It has so many things to do. Like, I just would, once the hunting stuff opened up, I was just like, would just go hunting for like 2 or 3 hours. Something I actively avoid doing in my real life. Though I grew up hunting, but I
won't do it in real life either.
Yeah, I don't do it in real life, but it is so much fun in this game.
even hunting is, to use the term, deliberate. If you shoot the animal wrong, it's worth less. You get less meat. You get less
Well,
material.
and the wrong ammunition and the wrong type of gun. Like I bought a varmint rifle specifically so that I could get perfect squirrel skins and perfect like beavers and things like that.
Mhm. And it's just the little details that are just stunning. And I think I was reading that they started making this right after they released Red Dead 1. And is it what, 8 years or something that it was being made? I think even at one point they brought all of their studios together and said, "Hey, we're making Red Dead. Everybody's making Red Dead. Get to it." And like you play a game like this, it's weirdly, it's like watching Breaking Bad. And you watch all of Breaking Bad, then you go and watch something garbage on ABC, like I don't know, FBI or some other piece of crap, and you're like,
Right.
wow, there's a real big difference between good TV and bad TV. Or you see the guy that played Gus in Breaking Bad, and you see him on just some piece of shit on TV, and it's like, ooh, this guy is good, but this show is really bad. It's the same thing with video games. You play Red Dead 2, and you're like, wow, this is just so amazing. And you go and play something garbage, and you're like, what the hell? It's been 40 years on this piece of crap, and it's a piece of crap. And why? I don't know. And there is a lot of underlying stuff that was going on with Red Dead. I think there was a bunch of crunch time. There's a bunch of other like real unethical practices going on. They probably could have avoided if they had maybe pared down the scale of the game, because the game is big and there is a lot going on. They probably could have taken out some of the stuff, and it still would have been an amazing game. But
it wouldn't have been this game that we talk about for like this game is going to be talked about 20 years from now.
Oh God, easily.
Yeah.
Like it's really that it is like a generation defining game.
Exactly. And it's just on every level. I wish I'd looked up what the scores for this game were, but I mean, I can't see it getting anything less than a perfect 10, although then there is people that are like, oh, this game is not what I expected. I made it 2 chapters in. It sucks. I don't get it. 2 out of 10. See you later. And so there'll probably be stuff like that. But I mean, you even go back to places in Red Dead 1, and then just the level of detail, like you're going through that Native American camp, and it's just everybody is. There's clearly been a lot going on to this point with all those people, and it's like, oh, they're having a rough go of it, and the government's just like, hey, sucks to be you. You should have thought about that before you were born and been, born in England or something, and you come across that redneck camp, and they're having their whole deal, and there's just a whole world built in with a level of detail and attention that is just stunning.
Yeah.
I didn't mess with any of the hunting. I know, Nate, you had brought up that you did a lot of hunting in this game.
Oh yeah, gotta get those pelts. You gotta make those hats.
Yeah, I was disappointed. All the hats were like really ugly, so I didn't want them, but I still wanted to do all the missions anyway. I just have to like complete things.
I mean, if you're having fun with it, I mean, even if I wasn't rushing, I wouldn't mess with it. Like in Red Dead 1, I did do hunting, but it wasn't like there was no, I don't think you crouch in that game either, but it was just running along my horse and shoot things I saw. Where in this game, if you really want to be a good hunter, you need to be sneaking around with a bow and stuff and getting headshots. You can't just be shooting stuff with your rifle on the side of your horse. It's never, I mean, I ran into a few animals and they would not go down. Like, they were just fighting me. And I'm like, how are you surviving 4 or 5 shots from my rifle? Like, but they weren't headshots. Also, I couldn't do dead aim in this game easily because my controller, for some reason, when I put L3, R3 in to do Deadeye, it wouldn't register. So I had to hit caps lock.
I used it a lot.
I had to hit caps lock while aiming, which is, you're holding down left trigger to aim. I think it was left trigger. And then you got to hit caps lock. It just doesn't feel good. So I used very little Deadeye in this game.
Were you pushing while aiming? You were pushing in both L3 and R3?
Yes.
It's just R3.
Oh. Yeah, if you're aiming, you just have to.
If you're
hit R3.
aiming, it's just R3.
Well, that makes sense why it never worked, Nate.
You only had to do both when you were just running around like tracking things.
Trying to track scents and stuff.
That didn't work either.
Yeah.
I had to hit caps lock. It wouldn't register even when I wasn't aiming.
Oh. Huh.
There's something. I have a fake 360 controller, and it wasn't exactly. It was cheap. I got a 2-pack for like $30 or less.
Oh, you got the Xbox 720 controller?
No, I got
The
something.
Xbox 120. Yeah, I was playing on PS5 and on my I have a 4K 120 hertz TV, and I know it's not made for that, but it looked amazing.
You're on a
It
PS5.
looks
I'm
so
sure this game.
it looks so good on PS5.
Oh, this game's
Every
beautiful.
day, I just hope for a tweet from Rockstar that just says, "Hey, Red Dead 2 Next Gen 60 FPS update is out now."
Wait. They actually announced something. I think there was a leak about that 2 days ago.
See, there was something that John Marston's voice actor was teasing, but then that just turned to be like a Comic-Con thing. But yeah, I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but that was like at the beginning of June, I want to say, and I was like, "Oh,
No, it was because I was looking something up this morning, and it said 2 days ago some leak about Red Dead 2 on next gen consoles and the Switch 2.
I saw that also. I agree. I'll believe it when I see it. But
because they also kept after the game release, people kept going like, "Oh, big leak. They're just going to put Red Dead Redemption 1 into Red Dead Redemption 2 and you can play it seamlessly." It's like, yeah,
that would be cool, but there's no way that was
it
going to
would be
happen.
so fucking cool.
God, this game, knowing Red Dead, I think people should play Red Dead 2 and not have played Red Dead 1, because knowing where Red Dead 1 goes makes this game even sadder. I will say that, because I was sad at the end of this game. I'm like, I know what's coming, and I don't like it.
I bought this game for my brother during the Steam Summer Sale because he's never played either of the Red Deads, and I was like, "Oh, you should start with 2 because I want to be a sick little science experiment and be like, what did you think of 2? Okay, now go play 1."
I feel like that's actually a good way to do it if it wasn't mechanically a big step back, but in terms of the story, I think it actually works really well to not you don't really need to know anything from Red Dead 1 for this game. I don't feel like
it hurts the story because when you play Red Dead 1, one of the things going in, Arthur Morgan's not in Red Dead 1. I wonder why. I knew exactly where it was going.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that, yeah.
I introduced all these different, there's the amount of people at the camp, when you only hunt down 3 people in Red Dead 1, I'm like, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die. None of them are coming out of this game alive. I mean, a couple do, but, you know that they're not gonna have an ending where they're something's gonna have to happen, because they're not in the prequel.
I mean, Sadie, for instance, I expected Sadie to die. I was, certain she was gonna die. And she just
close.
Yeah, but she just rides off into the sunset at the end of the game. And then I'm trying to think of who the other person is who
Charles.
Yeah. Things work out for him also.
Tilly gets married.
Yeah, so there's several of the characters that don't die.
One of them, I don't remember her name, but
the Reverend leaves on a train.
The Reverend leaves on a train, but then there's a girl who really wants to write a book, and the credits sequence she's shown writing a book from the camp. So she got out. So it's it's easy to be I mean, I don't want to say pessimistic or cynical, but just be oh, these people are all gonna die, but there's a few of them that make it out and leave. I think it is the way it shows Dutch's downfall is so good, and just how he gets more and more desperate as each big event happens that closes out the chapters. And I think I want to say it's at the end of chapter 3, maybe the end of chapter 4, where Jack is kidnapped. I think that's really the start of just
3.
The end of chapter 3. Yeah, I think that's really the start of just okay, this guy is not he's presenting that he has it all together, but he does not.
And he's presenting that he's presenting that he cares about everybody, and then I mean he does, but when a push comes to shove, he throws people under the bus.
Totally. And he leaves 2 or 3 people behind. He leaves Arthur behind. He leaves
Abigail
behind. He leaves John behind. He leaves a couple different people behind, and he's just I thought you were dead. And they're like, dude, you knew we weren't dead. He's like, I don't know. I was having a senior moment. It's it's wild to watch him slowly paint himself into this corner with his plans that aren't actually plans. Kind of reminds me of somebody in charge of a big group of people right now that keep saying he has a plan.
He has concepts
Arthur,
of a plan.
I have
He has
concepts
concepts
of a plan.
Concepts of a
Tahiti.
plan.
Remember, there was no plan. It doesn't exist. If you saw a plan, you didn't see it. Yeah, none of that's real.
Right. But like, it's just wild to watch him slowly paint himself into the corner, and then again, speaking of that same person, blaming everybody else. And it's just like, dude, you need to like take some accountability for what you're doing, because you're getting people killed now, and you're leaving people behind, and you're doing all the things that you were telling us that you're all pissed off at the rest of the world for doing. And now you're doing the exact same thing. And then what was really wild is I remember finishing Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead is the wrong game. The Last of Us Part 2. And so
Similar
same game,
stories.
you know.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to the end when one character is like, I'm out for revenge. I am gonna get that other person at the end of the game. And it's kind of the same thing at the end of Red Dead 2, where John is like, I'm going after him. I'm gonna take him out. And everyone's like, dude, just relax. He's gonna kill himself. Just let him be. And he's like, no, I'm going after him. F it all. I don't care. And the two games diverge in, you know, how their loved ones end up seeing them and their quest for vengeance at the end. But, you know, it's just, it was just this interesting similarity to me. But like, Dutch just keeps saying, I have a plan, Arthur. I have a plan, Arthur. And Arthur's like, the F's your plan, dude. Just tell us what your plan is. He's like, don't worry about it. I got a plan. I've got a plan. And they're like, you have no plan. Just shut the hell up. Let's just go straight. Let's do it. And you know, every time they're about to go straight, they just say, okay, no, one last heist, one last steal, one last something, and they just keep kind of like dragging themselves in. And I don't know. It's one of those kind of stories where everything kind of ends up like, well, we lived and now it's done. You know.
Well, it's that he doesn't have an idea of what to do. I mean, that's one thing that makes the story so good, is that, you know, like, Dutch acts like he has it together, like many leaders do, besides the one you're referring, you know, where they don't really know. I mean, they don't really have a plan. They have a plan for the moment. We do this, and then we just keep doing this. Whether it works or not, we don't know, because we have no actual idea what the fuck we're doing. And that's kind of where Dutch is.
Yeah, he's in the fog, and everyone else can see it except for him. And they're just like, look, we don't know what else to do ourselves, so we're just going to go after you. Even though we all know it's a terrible idea, we're just going to hope for the best.
You're right. That story with Dutch and watching his downfall is so...
I was just going to say, like, the moment where, like, so when you meet back up with John, and he's like, Arthur, Dutch left me for dead there. Like, and he's like, Arthur, I know he looked at me. And Arthur's just like, yeah, okay. You know, and he's like, Dutch is a little, you know, like, something has to be done about Dutch, but what can we really do about Dutch? And then when you go and storm the oil tycoon, what's that dude's?
Leviticus Cornwell.
Leviticus Cornwall. How could I forget? When you go and storm and Dutch leaves Arthur for dead that moment is so good. Like, where Arthur, like, after Arthur is just like, oh no, he looked at me, he saw me. Like, you know, so
you see him literally lower his guns and walk away.
And it's like, okay, so he definitely left John and Abigail, like, in bad situations to save himself. Like, it's so good. And that damn rat, Micah.
I mean, oh yeah, fuck Micah. We'll get there, but like, you know, it kind of made me think about what also, if you have less people that survive your heist, therefore you don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you're going to rob a bank and you go, well, I'm supposed to shoot the guy that opens the safe. I'm going to shoot the guy. I shoot the bus driver. You know, if you do something like that, then you don't have to worry about paying anybody. I love that movie. But that's what I thought too. I mean, the story kept me entangled in this game too. Like, that was one thing that kept me going this whole time. I ended up falling in love with the story. The way the chapters are. I mean, and all the chapters are long too. Like, this game is, even if you're just doing story missions, I thought I only had 50, 60 hours. I had 70 hours in this per Steam. A good chunk of that was idle time, because I would have to put the game down and do other things. This game took forever to fucking load, and the saving was not exactly there. Like, this isn't like a regular game of this generation where you can just, you know, auto saving. There's not a lot of auto saving. So you better leave your game running. I found out the hard way a few times. It does not like to autosave a lot. Oh, did you know that you can skip checkpoints if you suck enough? Did anybody run into that?
What do you mean?
Yes.
If you fail a checkpoint like 3 or 4 times, it will say, "Do you want to skip it?" And you can just skip it.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
There was one mission, I don't know how, I could not do it for the life of me, where you have to chase the turtle kid.
Turtle kid.
I know he's not a turtle, but he's part of the cult, and he runs off on his horse, and you have to chase him down. He has a turtle on his chest. Could not do it. I could not catch him, or even get to the point where the game forces him to load the cutscene, and I just had to skip it. I mean, I was like, what am I doing wrong? I just could not get it to work. This was not good. Like he was just running too fucking fast for me. And when I looked online, I wasn't the only one that had that problem. Other people did too. So, and that's where I was told about the checkpoint system, where the guy's like, yeah, if you fail enough times, it will automatically just let you skip it. And I did it 3 times throughout this game. I had 3 parts where I just was fucking up too much.
Well, maybe at that point, your Arthur had already had advanced tuberculosis, and he couldn't run that fast.
It's way earlier than that. It's in chapter 2.
2, yeah.
You were moving so fast that the tuberculosis sped up too.
Oh, from what the YouTube told me is that he gets tuberculosis when he beats up that one farmer for the German Nazi guy.
Yeah.
Really
Isn't
not Nazi, but he made me think of a Nazi.
Isn't that so cool?
Not realizing at the time until the YouTube told me.
I just think that the idea of just like that one little mission just derails everything. Yeah, and you can't skip it.
No, it's the only mandatory, those couple are the only mandatory because you can go collect other people's debts later. I never bothered though.
Yeah.
Because it was optional. So I was like, I ain't doing this. If you don't make me, I ain't doing it.
But it's one of those things where that mission is a tutorial for like, hey, here's what you can do in this game. Like, if you so choose, like you can follow this thread of like getting money for the camp by going and, intimidating people for money that they were lent, like a payment back. And then for that to be the crux of Arthur's story, I don't know. It blows my mind that's the, I guess, whole impetus of the game. It's just like that one tiny little tutorial mission, and then like hours later, for me, months later, like when Arthur starts coughing and falling in the streets, I was like, why? And then it's like, oh my God, because that one farmer died of tuberculosis. Like, that's insane.
I mean, that's how diseases work, though. Like, that's another thing I was thinking of. Like, oh yeah, that's why we have vaccines, because it doesn't take much. One guy's infected, he spits on you while you're beating the shit out of him, and guess what? You're dying now, too.
That old life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, reading through this again the other day, I mean, going back to 2020, speaking of all that stuff, I remember I went with my dad to a San Jose Sharks game in February, I don't know, 10th or something, 2020. And we got these really good seats on accident. We're just sitting with like 15,000 other people. And it's just, a week later, all of a sudden it's like, hey, guess what? That was a bad idea. I mean, neither of us came down with anything, but it's just these little things. And actually, that's a really good, just kind of a analogy for stuff that happens to a lot of people. It's like, oh, I'm just doing my job day to day, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm hit with something.
Some disease.
Yeah.
I found that when YouTube told me, I was like, wow, that is cool to realize that's his downfall. I mean, I still think he would have died no matter what, but I mean, tuberculosis is no joke, especially back then. Like, they had no cure.
Badass things he's done. And to die of tuberculosis is like, oh yeah, I survived 100 different shootouts, but some farmer coughed on me, and that's what got me.
So what did I think Doc Holliday died of tuberculosis?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
And wasn't the cure the cure in quotation at the time drink whiskey?
No, the thing to do back then was to go to like a warm climate, like Tahiti.
Or Arizona. Hey, did you know, Kerry, that the hottest spot in this entire country is somewhere in Arizona?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I have met multiple people in my line of work that's like, I want to move here. I'm like, well, okay. It's the hottest place in the country. My doctor told me I need to go to a warm area. And I'm like, it's the middle of the desert. Of course it's warm. Like, literally, it's the middle of the desert.
There's an old TB hospital right down the street in my town that my wife works at. It's a VA now, but yeah, it's an old TB hospital. They used to send people there in the 20s.
I mean, tuberculosis was a bad thing for a long time. I feel like in Tombstone, like for Doc Holliday, that they told him to drink whiskey, that helped like
Oh,
with the side effects.
That's just what he does, I think.
Oh, there's a really good documentary called "The Cowboy War" on Netflix. That's all about what Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Yeah, it's like 3 episodes.
What was actually going on there? Yeah, there's a little Wyatt Earp reference, I feel like, in Act 3 when you get deputized working for the Greys.
Oh yeah,
That's very much what like what Wyatt Earp was, an outlaw who then gets deputized and becomes part of the law.
and then becomes an outlaw again.
And then becomes an outlaw again, right? But in real life, like he was just a gangster that, got a badge,
I did not know that first part. I knew about that he was a deputy, and I knew that he became an outlaw afterwards because he goes on a revenge craze. I did not know that he was an outlaw before.
Yeah, he had been involved in a number of criminal enterprises before moving to Tombstone. But he had become famous, like he had gone to, I want to say, is Dodge City, where he had gotten deputized and became like a famous lawman. But before that, he had just been I know he had at one point been a petty criminal.
I mean, that's what the West was, though. Like, you know, you win to get a new start.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like this game. I wanted to look up, but I forgot to, like, what state it's essentially going across. Because Saint Demise or Demise, whatever it is, I mean, that's got to be New Orleans, right?
Right. Yeah. It's just like the first game where it's kind of like a fictional amalgam of mostly like Texas and New Mexico. And this one, or Texas, New Mexico, Louisiana.
Like Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado more in this one. Yeah, there's more
because
like,
the mountains.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point. I didn't even think about that. I'll never forget the one time I went to New Mexico. We went and then we drove up to the mountains, and I'm like, why is there snow? I don't like this.
Yeah, instead of the Rockies, it's the Grizzlies. And so yeah, it's a little bit of Colorado, but then the stuff in the South, the stuff with the Grays and the Braithwaites and all that, that's very like very like southern, like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi kind of stuff. And then of course you've got that whole area down there with like the alligators and stuff. So yeah, it feels like it's kind of just like a little like microcosm encompassing Colorado and Louisiana, where the first one felt very Texan to me.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I like it that they have these different, because I mean, it makes sense that, you kind of have to move around so much because of
it's just interesting because what is the name of the town in the first one that you're near?
New Austin?
Is it like Armadillo?
Yeah.
It was Armadillo.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's very Texas, but you're really only like a 30-minute horse ride from Blackwater. And then in this one, Blackwater is there. So you're just like just barely to the east of the map from the first game.
You do eventually make it into like Armadillo and that whole New Austin there. If that's
in the epilogue
end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's even in the first one, you go to Mexico even.
Right.
So yeah, you're kind of along that whole southern border, and then water next to Saint Denis is the Gulf of Mexico, or depending on your political bent, Gulf of America.
Right.
Gulf of Mexico. There's no other name for it, buddy.
I totally agree.
I feel like I feel like in the first game, Blackwater is kind of very similar to like a New Orleans almost. And in this one, it's definitely Saint Denis. I felt like there was another like kind of a town in the first game that was kind of like more Louisiana-ish, but I don't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was now.
The river that runs through the first map has got to be the Rio Grande.
Oh yeah, it's definitely meant to be that.
And then you do hit certain parts of the first map in the second game.
Well, yeah, like I mean, you end up on was it Beecher's Hope?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You end up on Beecher's Hope, and you have, I mean, Blackwater's in this game too, but I like how they talk about Blackwater, but you're not there until like near the end of the game.
Yeah, because because you got ran out of there and you're wanted there.
Yeah, I don't think it really ever goes away.
Armadillo was shut down because wasn't there a plague or something that had gone rampaging through there?
I think they mentioned it.
Was shut down.
It's something like that.
Or New Austin, they did mention it. I heard somebody, like an NPC, say something as I was playing through the game. Because a lot of people talk. A lot of the NPCs will talk and say things, and my God, do they make I didn't get to experience it the way that the game's supposed to because I was rushing through it mostly. And like all the fucking there are so many little like events. Like I forget, I think it was Nate, you made a comment. You're like, don't worry, the events will find you. Because I'm like, I'm not going to mess with the little events. fucking there are random people that pop up in front of your trail and start saying things. I usually just ran past them. They go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I don't got time for you. But they're cool. Like, I liked it. And it wasn't like in the first game where the first game was like, help me, and they pull guns out on you because it's all fake and they're all robbers. Like, that wasn't in this game. There was like a guy lost his horse.
That's in this game.
No,
but
that
not like in one.
definitely happens.
One, it was like every other event was robbers.
Because I was trying to, like, when I was playing it this time, I was like, okay, I know some of these events are fake. And there was one where guy is dying, like, he's like by the side of the road, he's like, oh, I was bit by a snake. And I pulled out my gun and shot him because I was like, no, this is a robbery. And I lost so much honor.
You're like, it wasn't a robbery.
I was like, nope.
You missed out on a free gun too.
Oh.
If you save that guy, then you like run across him in town, and he's like, "That's the guy that saved my life. You go in the gun shop and buy whatever you want on my tab."
Hell yeah! Shout out to that guy.
No, it's kind of random because it'll be like there's one for each. I think there's one for each town like that. One person that you rescue, and then So like I know I did that, and I got the free gun, and then in the town in Act 3, the roads. Same thing. A guy that I rescued is like, hey, no, that's the guy. He saved me. Hey, you go in the general store and get one thing, whatever you want. So I just buy like the most expensive thing.
I never bought any guns in this game.
Oh I did. I bought like a sniper rifle.
You'll get one for free later.
Well, yeah, I know, but I bought one early, so I had like a really good rifle with like a big long scope on it.
That helps.
And then I also bought the varmint rifle so that I could hunt better.
I don't know. I just didn't spend a lot of money in this game. I mostly put all the money in the box.
Yeah, I fully upgraded the camp.
Same.
I bought everything you could buy. So they did that also.
I just didn't want to keep anything. Like because I was always worried because I lost a few horses early in this game too where I didn't understand the game's mechanics. Like the bounty hunters came up to me and I was like, oh, I'm going to escape them. And I rode my horse till it died. And I'm like, well, that's not a good idea.
I didn't know you could do that. You can ride your horse till it just like falls over and dies.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Or you can be stupid and stay on the horse and fight the bounty hunters to shoot and kill your horse. You can do that too.
That's always a bummer.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
What you do is you get off your horse and you run away from the horse and let them just kill you. And then at least then your horse doesn't die. Because when your horse dies, hey, you remember that bond you have with your horse? That's nice. And I didn't appreciate that either. Because that happened to me a couple of times. I ended up with a horse. There's an early mission where you're supposed to sell this horse the guy gives you. He's like, just get rid of it. And I'm like, I don't want to get rid of it. I'll just put it in the stable because you could just keep it there. And I kept it there. And that ended up becoming my horse from chapter 2 all the way to the end of chapter 6. And I had that scene that, I don't remember if you guys mentioned it or read it or somebody told me, where when he's getting shot at the end of the game and he talks to his horse before he runs off.
Yeah,
that fucking hit me. I was like, my horse!
That's very poignant.
Not if you're low honor Arthur, because that did not happen to me this playthrough.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found out that there's different endings based on your honor level and what you choose to do at the end of the game.
Were you just shooting random people all the time too and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I was a piece of shit this playthrough. Like I was robbing people. I was just like ride into town and just like go to the saloon, and I found a dude with a raccoon hat in Valentine, and I beat the shit out of him for that hat, man. I loved that hat. And I tragically lost it in a shootout.
I mean, you can lose hats so easily in this game. Like, they just fall off.
I was so mad.
My hat shot off in fights.
Yeah, it just falls. Like, you get shot at, or you'll just run or do something, your hat's gone. I'm like, I mean, for a long time, Arthur didn't have a hat. And I didn't know he could cut my Arthur's hair. So his hair was terribly long. His beard was... I'm like, man, you were ugly, man. Like, what is going on here? I don't like this. I finally did start shaving because I'm like, I can't handle this.
Yeah, I would shave regularly. I hated him having like a big beard.
No, I got the big bushy beard. I pomaded his hair anytime I was at camp because Tim Robinson taught that slicked back people are bad. Yeah, it didn't happen to me, but like while I was playing this game, of course, like my TikTok was all Red Dead 2 stuff. And apparently, if you just never go back to camp for like multiple in-game days, Dutch will send one of the members of the crew, like he'll send one to just like ride up on you and be like, hey, you haven't been to camp in a while. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
I liked going
I like
to
that
camp,
you-
getting some stew, having some coffee, talking to people.
Yeah.
I've never had
Eat some
coffee.
stew. Yeah, eat
Hanging
some
around
stew.
the campfire, drinking beer,
Yep.
I never did that either.
singing
hanging
songs.
out with Uncle, playing
Yeah.
dominoes. Oh man, I played so much dominoes, and then that got me wanting to like. My son saw me playing it, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I explained dominoes to him, and so then we got out some dominoes and started playing dominoes in real life. So now
That's cool.
that's one of our things we do now is we play dominoes. I was
Hell
like, 'cause
yeah.
I grew up playing dominoes. I hadn't played dominoes in like 15, 20 years probably.
I don't think I've ever played dominoes.
I don't think I've ever played in real life either.
Oh no, that might be
I-
a southern thing or a Texas thing.
My in-laws are really into dominoes. I never played.
Where I
until-
went to college, I went to Texas A&M, and there's a line of bars across the street from campus on the north side of campus called Northgate. And you'll go to some of the bars in Northgate, and they'll just have dominoes, like 10 dominoes tables set up in the bar with people playing like all night.
That's cool. I used
Yeah,
to play
there's-
cribbage. But that's it.
Yeah, dominoes I think is big in the South. I don't know if it's just
a northern game.
yeah. I've never played cribbage. I don't even know what. Do you play it with cards?
You play it with a deck of cards and a board where you move
Board.
little pegs.
Oh yeah, no, we have cribbage in one of our 50 games, like one of those like 50 in one game things. Yeah, but I've never played it.
I used to play it with a
Well-
bunch of seniors when I worked at a assisted living home. They taught me
Yeah.
how to play it, and
Yeah.
that's how I loved it. It was the best part about my job until my boss got upset with me.
Dominoes is really big in like Southern African American culture. They play differently though.
I've
But
seen
it's-
dominoes, but I did not really dominoes in this game because I didn't mess with any of that stuff. Like I didn't even eat the stew until probably chapter 3 that I figure out you could eat the stew. And that was again, these are the things that if you don't do it, it does affect your game because your cores are not being refilled and you will die so fucking quick if you don't fuck around with that.
Oh no, I
It's
was
interesting
really
here,
good
you
about
guys-
that stuff.
Talking about the cores, because I remember when I played, like I said, I played this when it first came out, and nobody understood how the cores worked at the time. They're like, I don't know, you do stuff and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, maybe you do something, maybe it affects it. Nobody knew. And so finally it was just like, all right, whatever. I'm far enough along where I don't care anymore. I'm going to keep doing my thing. But it's interesting to come back and listen to people talk about it. That they're like, oh yeah, you sleep and you do this and you do that and it increases. Okay.
I mean, you have to. The game forces you to, unless you're really fucking good. And I'm also have a habit sometimes of not staying in cover when I should. I get greedy, and this game does not reward greedy. I mean, it's not a Dark Souls game where I actually have to be good and play. I can be stupid, but if you're fucking around with your cores and you aren't doing what you should be doing, this game will fuck you up if you try to be greedy.
Like, did you clean your rifles?
Not as much as I should have, but yes. That's another one that was hard to do because I couldn't do it with the controller. I had to go in the menu, select the gun, then grab my mouse and hit the mouse wheel in order to activate it. So I couldn't get the buttons to work.
That sounds very annoying.
I think it was something to do with my controller, is what I think it was, and that it just wasn't registering correctly. So I had to look in the controls and find out what the keyboard bindings were and then use those instead. I also couldn't play this on Steam Deck. I couldn't get Steam Deck to run it because it's having some error, which happens a lot of times when I try to run games from launchers like Rockstar and Ubisoft. They don't like to run well on Steam Deck for me. I was having a hard time with it.
Yeah, on PS5 you just select the weapon and press square in it, or I mean press in right stick.
Yeah,
and
that didn't work for me.
and it cleans it.
I thought you were
Oh, yeah,
about to tell them on PS5 you just start the game.
Oh well, yeah,
I mean, that too.
that is also that's correct. You also just
I thought he was going to say that. I'm
there's
like, I
that
know.
launcher. And I could just, you were talking about like having to like pause the game and leave it like open and stuff. It's just like I could just pause and put it to sleep at any second, even in the middle of cutscenes. I really love that in games. I want to be able to pause any second, anytime I want it, like at any moment. And this game lets you pause at anything, like in mid sentence. I want every game to do that.
Yeah, that would have been nice, because then my timer would have been accurate, because like the 70 hours I know was not accurate, because I had the game paused, but it doesn't pause the Steam timer. Where like the Steam Deck,
Right.
if you put it in sleep mode, it pauses the timer. They also
Right,
fuck
right.
up games sometimes too. If you're running on a launcher game, like a Ubisoft game, if you do that and you let it sit for too long, Ubisoft like, piracy, and crashes everything. I'm not
Right.
joking, unfortunately. Fuck Ubisoft and their DRM. But I don't know, anytime you mess with like launchers and DRM, it can get ugly sometimes with PC games.
Yeah, that sounds very annoying.
Can I switch to something else that I felt was very interesting. And if I don't bring it up, I'm sure I'll forget, and then I'll be thinking about it tomorrow. So one of the main groups that you're against in this game is the Pinkertons.
Mm-hmm.
You know they still exist?
Oh yeah, they captured that magic card guy last year.
In 2023.
Yeah, or was it 2023? I thought it feels like it was just the other day, but yeah, you're right, it was. Yeah, I actually teach it. I teach about the Pinkertons in my history class, and students always bring up Red Dead Redemption 2.
Are you talking about a magician? They captured a magician last year?
No, they captured a guy that was like, I don't know how he was
about Magic the Gathering.
Right, and he had gotten a hold of some cards before they were supposed to come out. And so
stick them on him.
So Hasbro hired the Pinkerton Detective Agency to get him.
God.
Yeah.
Does Micah Bell work at Hasbro now? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really funny because like historically, like where I teach about them is, I teach American history, and they were used in like the Gilded Age, which is when this game's taking place. They were basically just like a mercenary army, and they were used they also have detectives, and they like famously are the ones who caught Jesse James and his gang, but they were used by corporations as just hired muscle to beat up and often murder striking workers.
Yeah, they did union busting.
Yeah, that was like one of their main things, and they would go to like foreign countries on behalf of American corporations as like a little mercenary army and stuff. So yeah,
Starbucks hired them at one point.
Oh yeah, to break up union or to bust to do the union busting.
Union busting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe that.
That's crazy. I mean, in this game, they explicitly say Leviticus Cornwall has hired them.
Yeah, he's bankrolling them.
Yeah, to fund Leviticus's expansion, and then maybe that was just the law that was after them from Blackwater. But I thought the Pinkertons only go after them after you rob Cornwall the first time.
The Pinkertons, the Pinkertons are chasing you throughout the game. The Pinkertons are chasing you throughout the game, like they're
right.
I think they're chasing you from.
I don't think that's why you left Blackwater. You left Blackwater because you killed that girl, or somebody killed a lady.
Right, you had that job. You had that job that went wrong.
Yeah,
but that's where the Pinkertons are after you from, I think.
Yeah, because they do mention the Pinkertons a lot.
Yeah, I thought the Pinkertons came in after the first Cornwall when you robbed the train, and then that's when the Pinkertons get involved because Arthur's very frustrated about like we're on the run from the law and now the Pinkertons.
Oh, okay. So that's where they get. I just thought
they were in Blackwater too, but they're not chasing you until what Nate said.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But I think they were mentioned. I do know, like before I ever played this game, I had heard a lot of people talk about the Pinkertons, and I thought they were going to be a bigger thing in this game than they actually are.
No, they're still.
They don't show up till later.
They're still pretty big though.
Yeah, but they're not your only villain. I mean, you end up fighting the military at one point, which is when you really start realizing that Dutch is an idiot.
That's when Dutch leaves you behind.
Yeah.
Like when you're fighting the military, I did not like fighting the military because they actually had decent guns and were, too many. There are so many fucking military people you got to fight in this. I'm like, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, that's like in the first game too. At the end of the game.
Yeah, you do fight the military, then you die to the military. So yeah.
Yeah.
At the barn.
Yeah.
That fucking ending. Woo.
Great ending.
It fucking hits though. It hits hard. Like if I was to play Red Dead 1 now, like, oh, Nate, to go back to your earlier point, if you can convince that guy to play Red Dead 1 next, I hope he texts you, "Fuck you" at the end of Red Dead 1. I hope so.
I'd love for them to text you in Red. What the hell's happening? There's that one guy in Red Dead 2 that they think is from the future.
Oh yeah, Francis Sinclair.
Yeah, the one that has you looking for the etchings or something.
Yeah, that's like a whole rabbit hole because like that connects to like Grand Theft Auto 5 and the Epsilon Corporation. Epsilon Foundation. Yeah, because like they talk about like in Grand Theft Auto 5, all the Epsilon. I'm just gonna call them a cult and be a dick about it, but all the Epsilon cult, like I hope no one from the Epsilon Corporation comes for me. They talk about like the chosen one has a birthmark on their face, and that's how you know that they're the chosen one. And then Francis Sinclair in Red Dead 2 exists, and he has the birthmark on his face, and he talks to Arthur, and then at the end of the quest line, you find out that Francis is the baby.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a
Interesting.
weird rabbit hole to go down.
I did not do that mission. I didn't do any of the stranger missions, unfortunately, this time, which I was a little bummed about, but I just didn't have the time.
They were
Yeah,
pretty
the
good.
only I did just like the first mission for each one. Like the photographer guy, I did his like first mission, and then that was it. And I did same thing with the paleontologist lady.
I wanted to, like in Red Dead 1, I think I did all the stranger missions, but this game, there's just too much, and I was like, I don't have the time. So,
Did you guys-
I mean, there was
There's,
enough game.
I was gonna say there's one stranger mission where this guy wants you to go back to his old house and get something for him, and then you basically find out that he was a slave owner, and that the house he wants you to go to, it was like an old plantation. And Arthur like confronts him about it, and it's so good. And then you can choose to like kill him and gain honor from it, like or
That's
just
cool.
leave him. Yeah, or just leave him, and like because I like when Arthur finds out, you basically meet him, and Arthur's like, "I'm not helping you anymore," like
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. They're good about that in this. The same thing, like the Braithwaites are like former slave owners, and they are definitely like portrayed super negatively, and you get to kill a lot of them.
Is this 1800 when this game starts taking place in?
No, it's 1906, 1904.
Okay.
18.
Oh,
I thought it was
sorry.
1899.
1899.
The end. I'm sorry. The end of the game is 1904.
Okay. When is the Civil War again?
1860 to 1861 to 65.
Okay, so it's not like okay, so they do make a lot of references to the Civil War, but that makes sense. Only been 30 years.
Yeah, and that's a big thing in westerns in general. Is the Wild West is the real like heyday of the Wild West is the 1890s. Really like what we think of as the Wild West only was like 10 or 15 years. And so these games are kind of taking place at the end of the Wild West as that world is going away and the new world. Like the first game takes place in 1909, 1910.
Okay.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I know it's 4 years after this game. But so you're like at that point where now there's cars and there's telephone lines and electrical lines and all that, and the Wild West is kind of like you're part of like a dying thing.
So there was one mission in this game that was starting to break me before I think I knew about the checkpoint thing, or it wasn't exactly gonna work because it was like kind of like a mission. We had to go rob the oil wagons.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's in a place, and I kept trying to go there, but every time I would try to start going there, I wouldn't survive the gunfight. This is again before I knew about the cores as much, and I wasn't sleeping or eating like I was supposed to be. And
It's supposed to be a stealth mission.
what's stealth?
Like you
Sorry, I didn't know what that was in
sneak
this game.
It's
around
where
and,
you
and
don't shoot people.
Oh,
I mean, I was using my throwing knives. I hadn't gotten yet, but the throwing knives and just like taking out the people from the shadows.
My stealth is the meme with Danny DeVito and the guns. I started shooting.
Blast
That was
them.
about so for that mission, I had to look online what to do, and the internet told me climb on a hill, shoot towards the camp. You'll scare the horse and just wait for it to run out, and that's what I did, and it worked.
Yeah,
And the first
that'll
time I did
work.
it was actually by accident. I was trying to shoot a guy, and I missed and scared the horse, and the horse ran off. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I just got on the horse and rode off. But you
No,
literally can just do it and not even alert them.
I Metal Gear Solid that thing, man. I was like sneaking around in the shadows, taking people out with throwing knives, and then just like ran in and grabbed the wagon. I drove out. They didn't even know I was there till I was already like out the gate.
Yeah, there was none of that for me in this game. I can't do I can do stealth. I shouldn't say I can do stealth games. Like I have done stealth in many different games.
I mean, I've been on 2 different Metal Gear Solid or 3 or 4 different Metal Gear Solid episodes.
I don't
if
do
you
stealth,
signed
do
up. I know you can do stealth.
Oh, maybe I do sometimes.
I guess you don't really do much stealth in those either, do you?
It's optional in Metal Gear Solid.
It depends on Metal Gear 1. I do stealth.
Yeah.
Metal Gear 3, I use the infinite gun with silencer, so I do my own version of stealth. No, I mean, I do stealth in Metal Gear. I do. This, I just didn't, I mean, Assassin's Creed, I don't much. But I didn't do, I mean, I did some in this when the game forced me to, but I was still early on to understanding the game at that point, and I didn't realize, like, I didn't have my bow on me, I didn't realize, well, yeah, because it's on your fucking horse, and all that. It took me a bit to really start understanding this game. So, and then once the game clicked, I mean, I fucking love this game. I was doing a recording a couple weeks ago, and I was bitching about this game during that oil mission because I just could not get it to work. And later on, like, no, I fucking love this game now. So, big contrast.
Great.
Is
That's
I'm gonna
good.
be stealthy until somebody sees me, and then you're gonna do that John Goodman one where he's loading the shotgun and saying, "Oh well."
I mean, it was pretty accurate. I would
well.
try. we would start stealth a lot of times. I mean, I would try to sneak up on you and, slice a few necks. But once they saw me, well, we're done stealth.
Well.
We're just going to pull out the shotgun, cover, and you start shooting. Lots of rifle, actually. I did use the carbine rifle in this game. Like, I must have had over 1,000 kills with that fucking gun. I was shooting everybody with the carbine.
Carbine repeater, yeah, I use that a lot.
That is a good fucking gun.
I have to tell you, the shotgun in this game, and FBI, don't clip this, okay? But shooting off the limbs of, like, people, it is so... This makes me sound like a psycho. It is so satisfying. Like, to just have, like, someone running at you and then you just, like, shotgun their leg and their leg just rips apart and they fall down and they're like, ah, you know? It's good shotgun.
It's gonna be
It is a good shotgun.
Van outside of your house.
And you can get it really early too.
What were you saying, Ian?
I said there's gonna be an inconspicuous van that says not an FBI van outside of your house tonight.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're gonna look at the Wi-Fi later tonight or tomorrow.
Oh.
It's like, not FBI van. Like,
Also, in my low honor playthrough, I can neither confirm nor unconfirm, but like I had to kill a dog in a town, and Arthur chuckled to himself and said, "Play dead, boy." And I was like, "That's fucked up, Arthur."
Wow,
but
that's
your honor
crazy.
went from all the way down. Like you lose
Oh my
100
god,
honor.
dude! Yeah, I was just trying to rob the farmer, you know.
I had to shoot a dog once, but then I died, so then the dog was alive because the dog was trying to eat me because I killed the farmer too. So yeah, that can happen.
I mean, I think at one point I took out all of one town. I got bored and I was like, all right, let's see if I can do it. And all of a sudden the marshals and everyone show up.
It also like
The
forces
chain
you to
gun
kill
wagon.
everyone in Strawberry at one point, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to be like law abiding, and I would only like kill people. I was being like very virtuous, and I would only kill people if they gave me bad attitude. So, which I guess is virtuous for a video game. So I was like, occasionally the game would just like force you to do bad stuff, whenever you go to break. I guess it's Micah out of jail.
Yes.
And then Micah's just like, let's mass murder. Let's just kill like 50 people in Strawberry and build up a map.
Into the police station for that one.
Yeah, you have to blow up the side of the jail.
Yep, that's right. I love walking.
And
I
it's
was wondering if there may be other ways to
because-
do that. But I did it with like the machine. I had it pull.
Oh
the
yeah,
door off.
that's what it was. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at other ways to do it. It felt like this game had multiple options to do stuff sometimes,
Yeah.
but nothing that I caught on. I was just wondering, like, I could see it. This is that type of game.
Yeah, I think if I have any complaints about the game, I would say one of my number one ones is that it doesn't really give you actually that much choice when it comes to story stuff at all. Like, for instance, in Act 3, I think it would be good if you have to choose either the Greys or the Braithwaites and pick a side. But instead, you just have, here's a list of missions you have to do. There's 20 missions in Act 3. You have to do every one of them before you can move on to Act 4. And that means you've got to do the Braithwaite missions, and then you got to do the Grey missions. And it's the same thing in Red Dead 1 with the Mexican Revolution there.
Oh yeah.
You have to do the missions helping the rebels, then you have to do the missions helping the government. And it's so you don't get to pick a side, and that's something I dislike, and I think that's just kind of a Rockstar thing. And I was saying before we got on, this is now one of my very favorite games, but I think it would be my favorite video game if it was made by a company like CD Projekt Red, because I don't really like Grand Theft Auto. I don't like the attitude, the cynicism of Grand Theft Auto. This game feels so much better than any Grand Theft Auto game I've ever played, but it does have those little like Grand Theft Auto things about it, like that to move the story forward, you just have to do all the missions. And so your character doesn't really have any agency. And similarly, there's like a tendency in Grand Theft Auto, like that almost every character is unlikable. And the characters are constantly and the characters are all just like, yeah, well, fuck you anyway. Ho, ho, ho. And this game does the same thing where you're playing the game a certain way and then you're like, yeah, well, I don't like you very much anyway. And it's just, it has a little bit too much of the Grand Theft Auto to it sometimes, but I still loved it.
You are right though. That's just Rockstar in a nutshell, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like that's just, they make a certain type of game, and it's hard to believe that this is the last game they've ever produced so far.
Oh yeah,
because they've been just
It's
stuck
all
in Grand
yours
Theft Auto
for
5
me.
for the last, like, what?
Well, they
15
made
years?
The
Grand Theft Auto
one.
5 for the PS5.
That's the same game. That's just ported.
Yeah,
I think
just
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in what, like 2000?
that was
9?
2013.
I was at Sam's Club when it came out. I remember that
Yep.
much. I was working there
Oh, I'm thinking of 4. Never mind. Sorry.
for more than like 10 minutes. I need to.
Hey,
someday
4
do that.
plays on the Steam Deck, Mike. I can confirm that.
I want to do 4. I bought in 4 3 or 4 times. Like, I want to someday play it. I just never given myself a reason to yet.
There's also been
I mean-
some rumors that they're remastering for current gen.
Okay.
We go
Oh, one thing
back
that we
to
haven't
the
talked.
Rockstar being Rockstar for a second. I was gonna bring it up a couple minutes ago, but we were talking about someone else. Did anyone go to that cabin a little north of Saint Denis where there's the individual that's a little handsy?
The wife?
The guy that ends up knocking you out, and it's implied that he's like aggressively raping you while you're unconscious.
Wow,
Oh,
no,
no.
I did not find that.
Yeah, me neither.
I see it was only me then. So there's a cabin out like way north of Saint Denis. I can't remember where it was. It was I spoiled it for myself, and I came across the cabin, and the guy's asking for help, and he's kind of got the door cocked. He's like, "Oh, just come on in. I need you to help me a little bit." And if you say yes, and you go in, the dude, I think he clocks you from behind or something, and when you wake up, your pants are down, and it's Arthur's like, "Oh my god, I'm." He's like rubbing his ass. You know, again, the implication is that you know were aggressively raped by this guy. Like I said, I spoiled for myself. Since the guy opened the door, I immediately shot him with every bullet I had. I was like, nope, no, you ain't getting me. But it's like, does that really? They're going for the what is that movie? Where
Deliverance.
Deliverance. They're clearly going for a deliverance reference there. And it's like, all right, is it a? Are you saying something? Are you trying to be funny? Is this a commentary? What is this trying to be? Does it need to be in here? It's just kind of this weird one-off where it's like, this is a strange addition, and
it feels very Rockstar to me.
Exactly.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is this the event where you wake up like outside?
Yeah.
And then you find out the guy has stolen like all your gear too?
Yeah.
Okay. I did do that one. But I on my first playthrough, I didn't encounter it here. But I don't remember that aspect to it. But then again, this was back in 2018, so
it sticks out in my mind because I remember it was like, oh, that is such a weird thing. Oh,
that
and then I spoiled it for myself. I was like, I'm kind of glad I spoiled it for myself because, again, it seems like granted with Grand Theft Auto, there's some
juvenile sense
going on,
and just a juvenile sense of humor of the like 90s.
Exactly, and in a world of everybody getting crushed, killed, destroyed, blown up, everything else, fed to an alligator, it feels like it's crossing the line somehow. And it's like,
yeah,
can you explain why it feels like it's crossing the line? No, I can't, because I woke up and I wasn't buried in a box somewhere. So is it better? Is it worse? It's a philosophical conversation for another podcast, but it does seem like a strange thing to add to this game.
It's the tasteless kind of joke they had back then, but you're right, because it's like this game feels like artistic and serious most of the time, and then it has that kind of stuff in it.
That's unfortunately Rockstar at times. I'm sure if I go back to Grand Theft Auto like 3 or Vice City, I'm gonna have problems.
Full of that. Oh, it's full of that stuff. Yeah.
See, I thought you were gonna bring up the pig farmer couple.
Oh yeah, them.
That sequence. But maybe that's what I'm thinking of, where you wake up outside and then you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get them," because they think you're dead.
That was a different thing, and I think they end up like that one. You end up revisiting 2 or 3 times, from what I recall.
Yeah, see, I remember the one like it happening, and then you go back and like you can kill them and get your money back.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
I mean, I missed all this stuff. It's cool hearing about it.
Hooker.
Like, again, there's just so much to this game. Like, it's a monster of a game. And
yeah,
it's like we all had different experiences playing through it. And I think that's also impressive too. I mean, and how much I ended up caring for the characters. Like, there's a certain couple characters that die, like throughout the game, Lenny, and I really end up caring about these characters. And then when they take them
liked
away,
Lenny.
me too.
I like that mission with Lenny with the weapons cache, and you can send him out there to go and like distract them.
Oh, one thing that I want to talk about since we've been going for a bit, like how much the game shocked me when Chapter 5 you end up in fucking near Cuba.
Mhm.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And that wasn't spoiled for me. Like, this game came out in 2018. It's 2025. I had no idea I was going to end up in Cuba. No fucking idea.
Did you know about I can't even say it anymore.
Tuberculosis?
Tuberculosis
No.
thing? That's cool.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was going to happen either.
That's amazing. Good job, Internet.
Like, internet spoils a lot. Like, I
Yeah.
know what happens in The Last of Us 2, unfortunately. Never played it. Don't really have a plan to. But I know. Like,
Wait, I need to revisit that. Why are you not going to play that absolute amazing masterpiece of a brilliant game that is Red Dead Redemption 2 in a 20-hour form?
because it's too depressing.
That's fair.
I have a hard time with that world in general. I played Last of Us 1, beat it, amazing game, but I don't know if I want to go back to that world.
I really love the story and characters of that world. The gameplay is really not my thing, which is why I really like just like the show. I can get the gist of the story and everything from that and get to live in that world.
But that's a me thing. There are certain games that just become too depressing, and I have a hard time. Like Walking Dead, for example. Like, we did Walking Dead season 1 of the show years ago, and I just do not have the interest or the willpower to jump back into that franchise because it just, and I mean season 1 of the game, Telltale game, not the show, not the actual TV show. Too depressed. It's hard, and I'm just not interested in being that depressed for a week while I play through the game.
To be fair, nothing else
depression.
happens for another 15 seasons, so you just sleep through it. There's maybe.
Well, no, he's talking about the game.
The game, the Telltale game, not the show.
Oh, the games. Oh, okay. Sorry,
I had to quit the show too. I got to season 6 or 7. And I just said, "Fuck it, this is too much," and I quit the show too. So no, I get it. Walking Dead just.
I stuck with the TV show for way too long, and I felt like it was a waste. I felt like every episode I watched of that show was a waste of my time.
I quit after Negan killed, I think, Sasha. I think that was her name. When she becomes a zombie in the coffin and then fights somebody. I was like, I'm done. And I never went back.
I got a little further than that. I got where the characters come across like a row of spikes with the heads of several members of the cast on them. And it's like, oh yeah, we just killed these characters off screen. I'm like, okay, well, I'm done with this shit. This is just emotional manipulation. But what you were talking about, that game, Walking Dead season 1 is one of the best stories in video games. It's definitely the best story in the Walking Dead universe, I think.
So another thing that I want to bring up is the O'Driscolls. Like, I was surprised because you deal with them in the first freaking mission in the mountains. You're dealing with them in the first chapter, and then you don't finish them off till like chapter 5 or 6. You finally kill Colm O'Driscoll.
I think it's I think it's the end of chapter 4, isn't it? Where? Oh no, I'm thinking of the other.
Later.
I'm thinking of the gangster guy. Never mind.
Because the end of 4. No, yeah, the end of 4. Is when you run away and then you get on a boat to drop the heat. And
well, I was thinking of when Dutch drowns the guy, but that was somebody else.
The alligator.
That's Bronte.
Well, no, the guy that he
Wasn't it Bronte?
He drowns him over the side of the boat.
Yeah,
it's Bronte,
the Italian guy that because he's in chapter 4 because he kidnapped Jack
for
the Braithwaite in the end of chapter 3. And then you kill him in chapter 4. Chapter 5, you go to essentially Cuba. But at some point you fight, because Colm O'Driscoll's about to be hanged, but instead you get involved and kill him. Or you help make sure he gets hung.
I think that's chapter 5, yeah.
Okay. Because 6 is when everything starts going to hell completely. And 6 is when I think they start introducing, is it 5 or 6? No, end of 5, they start introducing the cannibals, I think. Which are based on the Skinners, which are based on, I guess, loosely based on real things that happen at this time. And I mean loosely based. Like, there was no actual group called the Skinners running around killing people and eating them. But it was, I guess it was based on what, like, the scalping that Native Americans did. It was based on stories of cannibals and stuff like that. That's what AI Google told me, at least. So take that as you will. I trust the history professor more than I trust AI Google. So
Yeah, I don't know what that is about, but I believe you.
I mean, there's nothing like concrete. Like there wasn't like a group running around the country, that's documented doing that.
Right.
So. But again, law is, not what we see law as now. Like, so you could get away with it and do it. Look at all the crazy shit that goes on in the Wild West that we know for sure. So
Right. Yeah, I like some of the the Blackwater job where you try to rob the banks. Like that is based on an actual like famous bank robbery that went wrong with the famous the Dalton gang.
That's cool. I didn't know
Where
that.
the Dalton gang tried to rob 2 banks at once and ended up getting like multiple members of the gang, which I think your gang in this is maybe based on the Daltons to some extent.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, they tried to rob 2 banks at once in Kansas, and 4 of the members were killed in the robbery and all that. And I think that might be what that's a reference to.
That's cool. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, the bank robberies, because you do find out that Micah was a rat later on. I think it's in chapter 6 or so.
Right. The Pinkerton guy tells you.
I like that. You're like, it wasn't that woman. We didn't get anything out of her. It was Micah. But at the same time, Micah's like there all the time, so I don't know why he's ratting on them.
I think he just wants it to be him and Dutch.
Yeah, survival. I don't even think he wants it to be Dutch. I think he just wants, like, he's cutting a deal so that he can survive.
I think that's fair. I mean, Micah, like, you hate Micah for a good chunk of this game, even the way you rescue him. Like, they give you a reason to hate that man.
Yeah, he's just very, like, unlikable from the beginning.
Yeah, he sucks. Straight up.
But
he's just that guy.
It works. Like, he becomes, like, Arthur's nemesis, essentially.
Yeah.
One mission I want to talk about when you have to go rescue John from prison, and you use the hot airbag the first time to scout it, and then you got to ride in there. That was some good shit too. I was impressed.
Why am I blanking on that one?
You have a hot air balloon for one mission, and then when you go and rescue John, you ride a canoe with Sadie. I really liked Sadie, by the way. She's a good ass character in this.
Yeah, I like her.
I was impressed.
I like that she becomes like a famous bounty hunter.
I think that was a really good use of her character too, to do that with her. And she survived. She's one of the few to survive.
Mm-hmm.
She gets the Adler Ranch or something in the first one?
I don't think that's her.
No, she's not in the first game.
No, because she leaves at the end of this game. She talks about going somewhere. I forget where she goes, but she does leave.
She just says she's going south, I think.
Tahiti.
She goes to South America, I think, because they were talking about like mines and stuff down there, and they needed bodyguards and stuff. I think she leaves. Because she leaves, Charles survives, and he goes north. And then we know Bill Williams survives, and we know Javier survives, and we know Dutch survives. Tilly leaves at one point. Yeah, I do like it that some of the characters do get out. One thing that did bother me in this game is how much the mask means nothing. I'd put on the mask, and they'd be like, Arthur Morgan wanted! I'm like, what's the point of the mask then? Like, why am I even wearing it? If you know who I am. That irritated me, by the way.
Yeah, well, you had to kill witnesses.
Well, it was only during real missions, because I didn't actually do anything criminal that wasn't during a mission. I'm talking like the shootouts, like the bank robberies and all the other shootouts that you have.
Well, yeah, the story missions. It just kind of what happens has to happen basically.
It bothered me though. Did anybody else have that kind of complaint with this, where they got upset when the game just gave you a wanted list bounty?
Yeah, I mean, the first time when I broke Micah out of prison because I had like avoided ever getting wanted, and then he like forces you to shoot up that entire town.
But really didn't need to.
That was when I looked up like, what do you do about the bounty, and it's like, oh, you just put all your money in the box in camp and then turn yourself in, and you have no penalty.
I mean, I did kill one witness because there was a mission where you were supposed to sneak in a house and steal the guy's money or something, and then steal his horse. And instead, I went in there and murdered everybody. And somebody rode by, called the cops on me, and then the cops came. So after I had to reload the checkpoint, when they saw him, I just shot him right in the face. And guess what? He never told the police.
That's because he had no face.
It was just funny because the guy made a comment. Jose, I want to talk about him after. Made a comment like, "Why'd you do that for?" And I'm like, "Because he's gonna rat on me in a little bit." That's what the game told me. So he had to die. Oh man, Jose was great. I was sad when his character dies. It made me sad. He was a great character. He's very much the logic of the group for a long time for Dutch. And it made me sad when they got rid of him. I mean, they had to. I get it, but it did make me sad. There were a lot of characters that hit me.
They were all so good. Like there really wasn't a weak character in the whole game. You know, everybody kind of evoked some kind of emotion or another in you, which is rare, at least for me.
No, it is rare. This game is something amazing. Like, it really is. And I think that's something to really marvel at, like, to how much this game is just so well done. And it's so long, but not boring for the most part, as long as you're not playing this in a rush. It's a really fucking good game.
Well, I think it goes to your point of all of us had a very different experience playing the same exact game, you know.
And I wanted that. Like, that was my goal when I originally started this. You know, and I knew, I didn't want anyone to play the way that I play. I play games a particular way. So, but I'm glad that people that you guys had such different experiences. And just the way that the game does wrap up, at least for Arthur, like he finally dies with tuberculosis and you have that last final fight with fucking Micah. That was all really good too.
I do want to talk about Arthur's different endings.
Sure, please. It's a great time bringing it up.
Yeah, so High Honor, first playthrough, High Honor. Arthur climb if you go with John, because why wouldn't you go support John? You climb up to the top of the mountain, you send John on his way, and you die in peace. This playthrough, I found out Low Honor. If you go with John, you send him on his way, like you're getting shot at, and you fall down to like a little plateau. And then John goes on his way, and then Micah shows up, and you have to fight Micah in the rain. And it's a very intense battle. And then at the end of it, like Dutch shows up, like you're struggling with Micah, and you're crawling towards a gun. And then Dutch shows up and like kind of, you know, chastises both of you and then leaves. And then Micah shoots Arthur in the face and just laughs.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
It is insane. And then if you choose not to go with John and you go back for the gold, you still end up fighting Micah. Oh no, maybe that's where Dutch shows up is when I can't remember now.
I think he shows up no matter what.
I think he shows up both times, but like in the camp, I know he for sure shows up.
He showed up.
Micah stabs you in the back.
For me on the mountain. I can say that. He definitely did show up on the mountain. And I had good honor. I didn't do anything bad or anything.
Did you fight Micah on the little like plateau thing?
We punched for a while, and I was annoyed.
Yeah. So maybe it's just like with low honor that he just shoots you in the face. But I don't remember fighting him with high honor the first time I played through the game. Like Arthur just kind of died peacefully on a hill.
I had to fight him, and I didn't go back for the money. I stayed.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, that's a trap.
I think I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, maybe this is wrong. Maybe this was just like an internet comment I read when I was looking up the other endings. But like, she was like, well, we know John survives, so why would you go with him? And it's like, no, John survives because Arthur goes with him. Like, in my head, like, if you don't go with John and get him out, he dies.
I mean, you get it.
I like that.
I was thinking of the aspect of just in general, this is what I felt my character should do. That, like, this to me made the most sense was you help out John. Because, yes, I know John is going to survive no matter what, but I knew Arthur was coming out of this, so why not? Oh, that was my whole mindset with it. I liked it. I thought it made perfect sense to have him stay with John because, like, for a while, he knows he's not getting out of this. I mean, he has tuberculosis, and at the time, that's a death sentence. So why not try to help the one person you can get out of this? And this is also the one person that has a kid and essentially a wife in the camp because nobody else does.
Gives John his hat, which is the hat John wears in Red Dead 1. Like, it's so good.
That hit me. I was like, oh man, like I was starting tear up a little bit in this game, like near the end, near part one of the end, like when everything happens to Arthur. And so I wanted to bring up a question here. Do you think the game would have been better if that was done and the game just ended and you didn't have 10 out, like fucking probably close to 10 hours of epilogue, which I beat in 2 days?
It would have been fine, but I think that, like, especially upon replaying the epilogue, I think that epilogue really brings in Red Dead Redemption 1 because for a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2, Abigail is very cold towards John and is very indifferent towards him. So I feel like it would have been a fine ending, but that epilogue where John like really tries to change his ways, and then he builds her the house at Beecher's Hope, and everyone is like, "That's a piece of shit land," and he's like, "That's what my girl wants, and I want her back." You know, like I think that does a lot for John's character. I think. And
Ian,
shows like why Abigail sticks around with him.
Oh, that's fair. Ian, do you have any thoughts about that? I want to, because I'm curious.
I do actually. So I think, and again, we all had different experience. For me, like I said, I put 400 hours in, and so I want to see what everyone's doing. But even more than that, it segues into Red Dead 1, right? Like you're right. They could have just cut it off and then, added a thing in Red Dead 1 where they're like previously on Red Dead Redemption 2. But it interlocks and it creates a full story, right? And I think this is going to go somewhere, so follow me with it. Somebody like George R.R. Martin, right? He creates this world and he makes these stories and he has you invest your time into them. And then he just says, well, thanks for your money, F you, and moves on, right? And I have a lot of very controversial opinions maybe on this podcast.
If you're a fan of the books like me who read Dance with Dragons, went, hey, I look forward to reading Win's a Winner. I mean, I still worked at Sam's Club back then. That must have been like 2013. Not even looking anything up. So, no, he's a fair person to be like, and when are you going to finish that series, buddy? Huh? Never. But
look, you fat asshole. No. So, for them to take the time to go back and say, hey, here is something that even though it doesn't need to be there, we're adding it anyway. We are fleshing out our story. We are doing the service to the characters. We're doing the service to the story. But more importantly, we're doing this service to the people that support what we're doing here, that pay our bills, that, let us do what we want to do. I think that's awesome. And I think that it was just enough. And one of my biggest memories of this game is them ordering that goddamn house from the Sears catalog. Like, that blew my mind. That you could just order a kit house, and they're like, here you go, here's a bunch of lumber and IKEA instructions. Good luck.
It was cool, though. Like, it's cool that that's really a thing.
Right? And it was a thing for a long time, but for them to do that, they didn't have to do that, but they put it in there anyway. And I think it was just enough. And kind of going back to The Last of Us Part 2, there was an epilogue to that game as well. That epilogue went on too long, right? They could have cut that in half and still been just as powerful, if not more. This was one of those things where like, all right, you've put in at least 70 hours. Here's a little bit more. We're just going to flesh it out just that little bit. And there you go. Now the world is your oyster. Do with it what you will, because we are done with our part. And I think it was great. And I think it was a good segue. And I think it had just enough story beats in it to make the whole thing worthwhile.
Okay. And I have another point to bring on with that. Do you think we needed the 2 epilogues, or would the second one just been good enough and skip all the ranch shit?
The ranch needed to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, because without the ranch, you don't get epilogue 2.
But also the ranch is where John ends up dying anyway. And so it kind of, what's his name? Not John. The guy that you play is Red Dead 1. Why am I blanking on his name all of a sudden?
That's John Marston. He doesn't die.
John, yeah.
He dies at Beecher's Hope, but he doesn't die at the ranch you're working at in the beginning of the epilogue.
Right.
Because he works on a ranch, then he dies.
Oh, yep, that's right. I got myself confused. Never mind.
Okay, you're hard.
Retract my statement.
Yeah, but still, if John doesn't work on that ranch and the events of that ranch don't happen, then he doesn't build Beecher's Hope for Abigail.
Fair statement.
I also like how, we're talking about how Red Dead 1 is a lot sillier. There's a lot of humor in the epilogue with John, just between John and Uncle. There's so many good jokes in there. And I'd share them now if I could remember them, but I do remember laughing quite a bit.
There was
just between him and Uncle.
He's lazy. He doesn't do anything.
There's one right before they go into town where Uncle is like, what is this? Like the 1830? Like, he's like making like an old joke, Like, I don't know. Good jokes in this game.
Old stuff never changes. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Old people never stop complaining about stuff either. That's another what it's also called.
I got the lumbago.
Kid, that was fucking hilarious when he keeps bitching about that. If I can't work, I'll die. That was fucking
Old
funny.
men are the same no
And
matter what the generation.
Mm-hmm.
And the house building song is really good too.
And them singing while they're building the house and stuff. And God, I ended up really, really liking Charles in this. Like, that fucking guy was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I love when you go to when you find him in the town and he's doing those fight clubs and he's supposed to throw the fight and then he does it and he's like, we need to leave town now, John. Like, we need to go.
That was good. I mean, it makes sense. He didn't throw the fight like he was supposed to. They're not going to be exactly kind about it. I mean, they fucking break your legs for stuff like that, I'm pretty sure.
Not that you would know about that, right?
Oh, well, it is what, the early 1900s. I'm sure things were not pleasant if somebody paid you to do something and then you went, fuck you. So,
I mean, that's when they were still doing like bare knuckle boxing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
there's no way that part went well for him. He had to get the fuck out of there. Somebody got screwed over.
Seems like
But
everyone
all
in
really
that game
good
made
scenes.
bad decisions.
The epilogue is it hit me, and then you finally get to kill Micah. Oh man, like you work with Sadie, and then there's that, and then Sadie eventually she's like, I found him, and I love how Abigail's like, don't go, do not go, and you're like, I gotta go kill that fucker. Oh man, what a fucking ending! Like, my God.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like him going to kill Micah is because like during the end credits sequence, they're showing different things and they're showing the Pinkerton at that site, like investigating his death, which is just like, that's such a good, like, if John didn't go, like if John had just listened to Abigail and not gone after Micah, the events of Red Dead 1 don't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just like,
because he brought attention to himself when he shouldn't have. I mean, they might have assumed he's dead. Like, everybody's dead. And also, knowing how Dutch is, 100% could see Dutch being the guy, be like, I had nothing to do with it, but I know who did, and drawing all the attention to somebody
John.
else. Yeah. Because he's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
But it's not even like explicitly stated. I guess it's kind of like the tuberculosis diagnosis it's not explicitly stated. It's just like, if you pay attention, I guess. Maybe it's not like the tuberculosis, but anyway.
It's
in an end credit sequence. It's silent. There's no overt discussion between there's no audio between the Pinkerton agents discussing it. It's just a scene that they show the Pinkertons investigating, and then they kind of put interstitials of like the other gang members, like what they're doing, and then every once in a while they just kind of keep showing the Pinkertons like, kind of investigating this death of Micah.
Completely miss it if you hold down A and skip the credits.
Right, exactly.
I didn't see this until I was watching a YouTube video and they talked about it, and I was like, I guess I should have maybe listened to those credits. But so yeah, it's one of those things that it's in the game and it's awesome that it's there, but it's completely missable if you're like me.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. That's because they probably thought he was dead, and he brings attention to himself because he fucking goes on a murdering rampage. And I mean, I'm sure everybody had a reason to hate Micah, but this guy had a very good reason to hate Micah.
This is my correlation to The Last of Us Part 2 at the end. It's weird how similar the two are, but they both branch off in different directions at the very end.
I wish I didn't know where Last of Us 2 goes. I mean, I knew within a month of that game coming out, the spoilers, so...
I'm not a big fan of The Last of Us 2, but that's more because it makes the world feel smaller than what it actually should be.
It's just things. I mean, I was surprised stuff in this game was not spoiled for me. Like, I didn't know a lot of stuff that was coming in this game. Like, I knew Arthur wasn't going to come out of this game. I was pretty sure of that. Like, I knew certain things, but nothing was really spoiled for me. Like, just surprised. The internet is really good at that.
Right.
There's some good, I've seen some good TikTok Red Dead 2 edits where it's like one of them is Arthur going to Micah in the jail, and Micah's like, get me out, and then it's just I don't know if it's a different clip or if there's but it's just Arthur going no, and then it cuts to like the credits rolling. Like shit like that I'm just like,
No.
Yeah, that's funny.
It should have been no.
Yeah, Arthur's one of the best characters in gaming.
It is. He definitely.
And I was just gonna say, before the game came out, I was very skeptical of the story Like, I was like, there's no way that it can top, the characters and story from Red Dead 1 for me. And then I love this game so much.
I think I felt the same way, just like you, Nate. Like, I didn't expect this game to be what it was for me. I did not go into this expecting any of what happened and how much I ended up enjoying this after a few, about 10 hours. I had a few unpleasant hours first.
You probably saw it in a YouTube video, but there's the scene where if you do all the stranger missions, you meet with a nun in chapter 6, and Arthur just sits and talks, and it's just Arthur and a nun talking about death and accepting death.
That's cool.
And the way Arthur, like he looks at this nun and the animation on Arthur and the voice acting, and he just says, like, I'm scared. And that got me. Like, even just thinking about it now, I'm getting a little choked up. Like, because it's so good. It's so pure and honest. And it's just like a look into this, that, like, someone who is dying, just like life, I guess. I don't know. That scene hits, and I can't believe it's in a fucking video
Rockstar game? Rockstar video game. Make sure you add that.
I'm hopeful for Grand Theft Auto 6 because I really want that level of writing to be in Grand Theft Auto 6.
Do you think that game is actually going to ever come out, though?
Yeah, May 26th of 2026.
Oh, that real? Did they make a release date already?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Can you tell I don't pay attention to anything modern? Because I was actually serious with that joke, and I didn't realize it already had a release date.
Oh, yeah, no, it has a release date. And everyone was, people on TikTok and the internet were like, oh, what if they released it May 26th of this year? Like, because they revealed it, like, at the beginning of April or the middle of April.
They're too busy getting money from Grand Theft Auto 5 still, so.
Yeah, GTA 6 is going to take over the world, but... Anyway, I'm hopeful for it because of how good this game is.
Any last things you guys want to say before we go to questions, comments, memories?
Mm-hmm.
Anything? Okay, I don't think we missed any. Well, we probably missed stuff, but we've been going 2 hours, so I'm like, okay, I probably start moving this along. All right, let me pull up. I did get a few questions, not a lot, but I got a few, so let me see what people had to say. I think I only posted this in, 2 groups because I didn't really know where to post it. So, first from I watched the entire Overblood Super replay from Will Randolph. Probably a controversial statement, but I think this is the greatest game ever made. I played through it a few times, and I don't think there's another story-based game that I connect with as much as this. Not to mention the visual aspects and level of detail in its world is still to this day very impressive. I know the gameplay is polarizing, but I always like the slower, more methodical gameplay, regardless, though its presentation is still pretty much second to none to me. It's the closest thing we'll have to a cowboy/outlaw simulator. All that is so fucking true. Like, the deliberate stuff bothered me, and then after a while, I just accepted it, and I was okay with it, other than the fact that I had a time constraint. You get used to it. But don't play this game with a time constraint like some people do. From Lance Howard, every time I get in online, I somehow have a bounty on my head, have to outrun others for a solid 2 minutes and get my friends to back me up. I have no idea what I did to get that bounty. Also, dragging my friends up a cliff with a lasso is always a hoot. Did anybody try the online? Because we haven't even mentioned that, just in case.
No, I didn't play the online at all. Can you just access it anytime?
Yeah.
What is it like?
I don't know if Ian, did you play online?
I played a little bit when it first dropped. It was serviceable. I don't know. It didn't really hit me where I was interested, but it was all right.
There was an update where they added jobs like bounty hunter, tracker, and 2 other ones. A moonshiner. I played. That's where the bulk of a lot of my time with Red Dead 2 went after I beat the game. Was the online. So much fun posseing up. The community is very not like the Grand Theft Auto online community. Like, people are just chill, and like you can just go on horse rides with other like random people. And yeah, there are some griefers, but I think because of like you can't just zoom from one side of the map to the other to just like kill a random person. Like, people just like vibing in this world. And they also got rid of like all of the deliberate animations, like the slow animations of looting and stuff for online. So if you're looking for that just gamified Red Dead 1 feel, online has what you're looking for.
Do you create like a custom character?
Yeah.
And so you're not playing as Arthur then?
No, it takes place a couple years before the story starts.
Okay. There's like a story to it, or
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, there's like a very loose story missions.
do you have like a camp you live in or something? Or it's like kind of spawn in the world and
Yeah, you can set up camp and like move it around. You do have to pay money to move it around.
Real
But-
money or just game money?
No, game money. Game money.
Okay.
There are microtransactions for like gold bars and stuff, but at one
You just-
point I would play it every day to keep up with my dailies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I'm,
sad
I'm,
that I have
I'm
to ask
actually
that
kind of I'm kind of interested in that because that really like my favorite thing about the game is just kind of like existing in the world.
Yeah, you can do that.
So- So I could see that just like playing my character and like, you know, getting on and riding around and hunting a little bit and selling what I've caught and all that.
Yeah, there's also like the bounty hunt missions are really, really fun. And there's like legendary bounty hunts that have like a cool little like splash screen cutscene beforehand. And then like if you're playing with like friends, you all can go on the like bounty hunt mission. The moonshine stuff is really fun too. Those are really the only two jobs that I liked doing. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually
It's-
probably gonna check that out.
it's pretty cool. I recommend it. Anytime I have Red Dead 2 installed, I almost buy like 3 months of PlayStation Plus just to play online because I'm like, God, I love it.
That's cool. Okay, I didn't mess with it because it's me, but that sounds cool. All right, from Nick Ludeman, Red Dead Redemption 2 is high up my list of high-profile games to check out or give another shot. I tried the game on PS Plus, but quit very quickly when I realized the first part of the game was slowly following a dude on a horse. I didn't have the patience for that scene to last more than a few minutes before quitting out. I get that. Like, this is a game that you have to kind of commit to, and it took me 10 hours to really get into it. So, there's a lot of swearing before that. Lots of swearing. And from Curtis G. Williard, I started both Red Dead Redemption games and love both, but never finished them. Have them on my Xbox Series S. I should go back to them. You definitely should. From Ben Woolley, I far prefer the first game. The story of the second is far too aimless and long-winded for me, plus the lack of investment in the online mode is appalling. I can't get over them not doing Undead Nightmare or any expansion. They don't need to. They got Grand Theft Auto 5 printing the money.
All right.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. So, yeah. I mean, this game must have not made enough money to even make it matter. Online.
I can see what he's saying about the story. The story in one is much more contained for sure.
Yes, it is.
It's much easier to follow, like just like a movie. This one just like it does just go on and on and on, and you get to a new location, you get to a new act, and then it's like almost like a whole new game each time. So I can see what he means by that.
It says it made $725 million in sales from its opening weekend.
Wow.
Exceeded
But I mean, like,
sales of Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2 weeks.
but probably the online wasn't bringing in like the money that GTA 5 brings in.
No, I don't think anything does.
No.
No,
Yeah.
so they didn't. They're like, what? Should we make expansions or should we just keep doing GTA 5 since that prints us money?
Actually, they did just update online. There's some like Undead Nightmare type things going on right now in online.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Undead Nightmare was awesome.
Like you can fight robots. I saw. And I was like, damn.
Oh.
Yeah, I almost bought 3 months of PlayStation Plus because I was like, damn, that sounds cool.
From Nick Cortez, I had a discussion recently with a friend of mine on how tough it was for him to get into this game. We're both busy fathers compared to when RDR1 came out. Games of this caliber and scale demand more time to feel accomplishment within a gaming session. Given it that time is very rewarding, often why these titles are chosen among the greatest in gaming, but when you don't have that time / mindset to invest in it, you don't get that payoff and have difficulty connecting to the game. The same can be said to many large AAA titles. Thus, shorter, more condensed, and exciting gameplay loops often rise to the top of the busy gamer who only has 30 minutes or so to play. Fatherhood is one excuse, but anyone can find themselves a valid reason to switch from slow-paced games to something quicker. I say all this to affirm that Red Dead Redemption 2 is worth it, but I don't blame anyone who struggled or simply had no interest. No game is for everyone, but that doesn't detract from how impactful the story is, how fantastic the world is, and how great the voice acting is. Our Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely worth arguing for one of the best games of all time. Yeah, that was part of my issue too, because I play a lot of games in small sessions, and this was hard to do that in. I didn't. I just played for fucking 3-4 hours straight a few times. So I get it. And I don't do that. Like, I play a lot of games for this podcast, but I do not sit at my computer for 3 to 4 hours and just play a game. I did for this game. Like,
Yeah, you
nonstop.
get sucked in.
Yeah, totally.
and I knew how many hours I had to get through this, and I was like, time's a ticking, time's a ticking. So there's that too. And what I did get sucked in. From Randy Brink, my only real complaint for it is the traveling. It just takes so long to get from point A to point B, and I get it's meant to make you explore, but holy hell, does it kill my desire for multiple playthroughs. I don't think this game needs multiple playthroughs.
No.
It's not that type of game.
You go forever, or what? I don't know. You never play anything else.
I mean, hey, there are people out there who that's all they do.
The online
That's
being
fair.
for that, I could see.
I mean, I'm not one of them, but people do. I mean, I'm trying to beat 100 games this year, so I don't need a game to go on forever, but I'm a different person. All right, and then from the official Laser Time community, I have a couple comments to read. From Gibson Rickenbacker, it's the greatest gaming experience I've ever had in my 45 years on this planet, and it's not even close. I got over 800 hours on it. Fucking God. After Red Dead Redemption, I held fast that John Marston was the best protagonist in gaming. Then I met Arthur Morgan. Absolutely stunning. Man, that is... How do you put 800 hours into one game? Says the guy who used to play Final Fantasy 11. So, sure, I put more 800 hours into that game. But how much of it was standing in one town waiting for a seeking party? I don't know. All right, and then the last comment from Brian Kinzel. I have just started as well. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you didn't listen to this episode, but if you did, you're in for a great time. All right, then I want to give away a Steam code. Let's see, what is my next Steam code to give away? All right, you're going to be hearing these for the rest of the month. This is for Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. The Steam code
I
is
love that game.
a great game.
Sorry.
Great game.
You're fine. 8HAMM82VR4YR27E. That is your Steam code for Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. So I literally bought that bundle for $1 just to give away the codes on the show a while ago. So
I remember playing that game. Gosh, like way before Steam existed. Like I remember playing that game like in it was like 1999, something like that.
Played it the first year of the show, but I didn't play it back then. I just didn't like it.
Because of that game, I've like spelled Odyssey for like ever since.
I don't
because it spells it with 2 D's.
Oh,
It's Oddworld. It's Odyssey, and 1997. Yeah, God, I was in high school. That game came out. I remember playing. We got my best friend got that game when it came out. We used to play it at his house all the time.
Now I want to play Stranger's Wrath.
that's that game I like a lot. That's also on the podcast. It's the one of only 2 Oddworld games I've ever done in the show, and probably the only 2 I will ever do. So hey, man, I really like Stranger's Wrath. Hi, and who is the cowboy that joined me in the last second?
Yeah. Oh, partner, it's Cody, swamp born of the House Laveau, professional animal wrangler, warden of the Riverlands, bender of limbs, winter soldier, gentleman adventurer, former handsomest man, breaker of hearts. Just between you and me, I might have a date with an Indianapolis Colts cheerleader. You didn't hear that from me. Former. Let's say. You never know if I'm telling the truth or not. Treasure hunter. World traveler, I added that one now. Friend to every single animal on the planet Earth. And according to you, wooer of ostriches. I just got one of those faces. I think that's what it is. And currently, I don't know if you're also drinking, but I don't know if you're drinking to start the podcast.
Nothing good, but yes.
Oh, no, that's delicious. This right here, what I am drinking is Kentucky Gentleman. Closest thing to, what's the name of the whiskey from Red Dead Redemption 2?
I don't remember.
Limping Williams, which is hilarious. I love that this game is so serious, but still has that Grand Theft Auto rockstar humor to it. A Limping Williams, which is a flaccid Willie, if you will. Cheers.
They worked it in, though. They got it in there.
Oh, that is a cheap whiskey. Dutch.
See, my original plan when we did the first
Dutch, the whiskey done turned it sounding like, yeah.
The main recording, I was going to drink whiskey, and then I'm like, if I drink whiskey, I am not going to make it the 2 hours that it's most likely going to go. So
those are rookie numbers, is what I'm saying. You got to work your way up. You got to do like I do. Drink on every podcast that we do, which is now what? This is my 14th, 15th time I've been on here?
No idea. I do not keep track, unfortunately.
I am going for the record. I want to try to be on this thing as much as I can. I love being on this show.
I try.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you weren't able to make the main recording, but I wanted to still make sure we got you into the episode.
And I appreciate that very much. Yeah.
Of course.
I did.
You played Red Dead 2 also.
I did. I love that game. Might be top 5 of all time.
Okay.
Like, seriously. I mean, not to spoil it, but it is,
Not
to me, just story alone. I mean, are we spoiling anything by saying the story writing on this is excellent, which as an author I can respect, especially the character building of it. Love that. I don't know if y'all talked about the motivations and who did what and who y'all's favorite characters were.
We did, pretty sure.
Okay.
There's a little bit of
Okay.
alcohol involved, so my memory might not be the best. but
Oh yeah, of course. And then you talked about staring at butts, obviously.
No, that didn't come up.
Okay, all right. Who is your favorite butt in this game?
I didn't really pay attention, to be honest.
What? You know Sadie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you follow her around and you look at her butt, she will say something. Like you know, because I found this out by pure experience. I followed her. I'm like, that's a nice butt. Because you know me, video game
Yes.
butts. Still, the top one I think of all time might be that gal from, what was that, Dead Space 2. And then right after that, right, like almost tied, it's Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3. That's, wow, chef's kiss on a butt. I'm an equal opportunist as far as it comes to butts. But you look at Sadie's butt, you can kind of follow her. She's walking around camp. And she'll comment. She's like, Arthur, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be looking at your butt. And then if you do it again, she'll be like, okay, Arthur, seriously, what are you doing? Stop it. He's like, I'll stop it. I will cut it out. She's like, you better. Third time, she opens fire and tries to shoot you.
Okay.
They programmed that into the game, I swear. Because as you know me, as a connoisseur of butts, and as somebody who just wants to do something to see, can I really do that? It turns out yes, and you will get shot for it. So try it
To
out.
be fair, I saw my horse shit randomly a couple times, so hey,
That does
I figured
happen,
that.
which is realistic as well. There's so many things in this game, as both an animal guy and an actual legitimate cowboy, that I really liked the attention to detail on that. I think Rockstar chained their employees to the desk to make those things happen. But like the wolves hunt in a realistic way. The wolves will mourn their dead. Like stuff that they did not have to do, that 90% of the player base would not have seen. There are like eagles catching snakes in this game.
Oh, I never saw
Never
that.
mind. Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I saw it. I don't know if I saw it on this playthrough. I saw it the first time I played it. It was like pre-COVID, right? I got it on the PC, I think. I played it this is my second go through of playing it. This time, not noble. Not noble. I don't remember much about the first playthrough, but I was like, I'm gonna be kind because I'm always kind playing these games. And the second time, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to be a bastard. And about halfway through, I couldn't bring myself to do it. That's not Arthur. It's just not what he is. That's not his character.
Not really.
Is that I like that Dutch starts out as being this all for one for all. Starts out, if I could jump in the grave in their place, I would. His whole crew is willing to take a bullet for him. And Arthur is he's putting on a mask being the scary guy, whereas clearly Dutch is putting on the mask of being the nice guy. And then as the story goes on, the two of them both reveal who they actually are. So, it's that whole thing. Punks are nice people that pretend to be mean, and hippies are mean people that pretend to be nice.
So do you think Dutch goes crazy as the game progresses, or he just shows his true colors?
I think Dutch
go to shit.
I think Dutch acted much the way you do when you drink whiskey. It just makes you more of who you already are.
Fair enough.
I think that Dutch, fearing being betrayed by everybody, and in this game he gets betrayed twice. The second time, not by the person that he thinks that he got betrayed by, but he got paranoid and he did not know who to trust. So much so that he went from Arthur, who he's like, you are my son, you're more than my son, into completely turning on him and John. And Josiah's death's kind of part of that as well. But yeah, just the character development of that. I think that Dutch was already pretty paranoid. I think he already had these really lofty ideals about the way the world should be. He's a pure anarchist. He's believing in the narrative of the American West. And he cannot help but see himself win. I believe that he believes that there's no world in which he doesn't win. And he does not get his way in a delusional kind of way. So any ends justify the means. And when that worldview gets broken, I think it just unravels his mind, which was already pretty loose to begin with.
He makes some fucked up decisions throughout.
Oh no, he definitely does. He's an asshole. Leaves people to fucking die. I know that Micah had a big hand in that, and which is also really, I liked Micah as a character a lot. I know a lot of people don't. because he's such just a grand bastard. But if you read Micah's notes, you kind of see who he is. He's a third generation criminal. I don't know if you picked up on all that.
I did not look into any notes.
Okay. So if you look at Micah is a third he's like Micah the third. Like his dad was Micah Jr. and his grandfather was Micah Sr. And both of them were outlaws. And so he, much like Jack Marsden, you kind of get the idea that Micah grew up in this kind of life. And I kind of wrote my own head canon in that there is a letter from his brother where his brother's like, I've gone straight. I still love you. You're my brother. But if you come within like 50 miles of me or my family, I will fucking kill you. And I
would not be surprised if that was somewhere like stuff like that in the game, because there is so much.
I picked up on some of it. Again, this is stuff that I've read that I really took my time with. On and off, this was about 2 months. Just when I here and there. But that is a thing.
Played it right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like in my head canon, he was running with his brother, probably for his dad. And maybe the only way to save himself, Micah the third, the Micah that we know, probably sold everybody out. His brother escaped, or his brother went straight after something went really bad. And I think that's where Micah learned to be a rat, to be an informant, not working with him the whole time, but when it suits him, turn on the people, have absolutely no loyalty to anybody if it's going to suit you, because he's ran with other gangs and they disbanded. So, you hang out with Dutch. Yeah, and you turn out with Dutch until it no longer serves your purpose, and then you do what you got to do to live. I think that's a really interesting character trait. Is it somebody that has literally known nothing else except this kind of life? And so Micah was just fucked. He learned to be a rat very early, in my own head. And I think that makes for a very interesting. Plus, has the best coat in that entire game. That cavalry jacket. Okay, every man walking this earth has a jacket that they fantasize about if they don't own. Some people, it's Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 4.
Me.
Yeah, that's I own
that was mine when I was
jacket.
younger.
I work. You've seen me wear that jacket.
I have.
So yeah, that's a great jacket. It's a beautiful jacket with the fur trim. But there's a movie called 3:10 to Yuma, the remake, right? I don't know if you ever saw it.
I have not, but I know.
Western. Charlie Prince, played by Ben Foster, wore that cavalry jacket, which has the buttons right down the middle and then the tails. That's what cavalry officers during the Civil War used to wear. And Micah has the Union version of that. It's like a dark blue jacket. It's like a cavalry officer's jacket. So it would also explain why he has those long ass pistols and he's good with firing from both hands. I think he had some sort of probably his grandfather was like a dragoon at some point, or maybe even his father. Like, it's a good look minus the blonde mustache. That's all I'm saying. But that jacket that Micah had is the tits. It is such a cool jacket. And he ruined it with a blonde mustache. As we all know, never trust a blonde mustache, Mike. Okay? Every blonde mustache has been evil. General Custer, right? Hulk Hogan, real life villain, blonde mustache. Alan Jackson, he knows what he did. You don't get that one. Somebody listening is going to be.
You know who Alan Jackson is, Ashley. I like his
music. Oh, do you actually know Alan? I saw he's actually retiring this year.
Dead.
I went and no, he's.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy he's not dead.
No, well, he's probably going to in the next year or two. Oh. He has so he's on his retirement tour right now. I saw him back in February with the Goth Clan that I've been seen with. We made a whole video about it, but it's one of Alan Jackson's last tour. Legitimately, him singing with his wife brought me to tears. Man enough to say it. But still, blonde mustache equals evil. Will not hear otherwise. They should have known they should not have been able to trust Micah from Jump Street.
I mean, to be fair, the way you're introduced to Micah, you bust him out of jail. Like, that right there was kind of a sign that this guy's a fucker.
And then immediately shoots his cellmate. What's up with that, dude?
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't discriminate. He shoots everybody in town.
Oh God. The population of Strawberry. It's massacre. And it's kind of fun. But it's messed up.
You don't go back there again until way late in the game.
Towards the very, very end. He decimates it. So what was your favorite town in this whole game.
Well, fake New Orleans.
Yeah, Saint Denis.
I mean, that was a fake New. It had to be a fake New Orleans. Like
Yeah, no,
everyone, of
it
course.
definitely was. I loved it.
Okay.
Bayou Noir.
Because you're from? Are you from New Orleans? I know you're from Louisiana.
I'm from a little town, or I used to live in a little town called Houma, Louisiana, which is actually south of New Orleans, and then I also used to live in Baton Rouge. I am half Cajun, but a quarter on each of my parents' side. So
okay, cool.
That's where the name Laveau comes from, Cody Laveau. So je suis Cajun. What do the bon? Oui, yeah. I do speak a little bit of French, but not as much as I used to. So I mean, you probably saw that while I was in France. Oh no, French is beautiful. You should learn to speak it.
I need to learn. I can't speak any other language. I wish I would. If I could learn anything, I'd want to learn Spanish, just because
it's useful.
I mean, in where I live in Minnesota, there's a lot of Hispanic speaking people around here. Why they all came up here, I don't know. But
wait, hang on. You live in Minnesota?
Yeah.
I'm actually up there like early next week.
What city?
Minneapolis.
We'll talk after the show.
Okay. Oh, we are going to cause some trouble. You're hearing it first right here on this podcast.
But no, I really enjoyed the Saint Denis stuff. I just thought the gator mission when you're getting hunted by that giant gator. I thought of you.
Realistic. You should think of me. I have seen an albino gator in person. I think it's still around at the Audubon Zoo, but as you know, somebody that's been around alligators and has had some very close encounters with aforementioned thunder lizards before. It's not the most unrealistic portrayal of that. A little bit bigger, like almost to the prehistoric level in this game, but the way that they move and they alternate their feet, it's beautifully done. I loved it. Loved getting that prime gator skin. Hopefully you didn't blow it up with a cannon or something and mess it up, did you?
I didn't kill it. I just hurt it enough till it ran away. I didn't do really any hunting. I killed a few rabbits, couple deer, and I killed one black bear because he scared my horse. So I shot him in the face.
Friend of every virtual animal, Mike Albertin.
Hey, well, one thing, it took forever to skin in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like in Red Dead 1,
realistic, yeah.
I mean, you can just hit the button, boom, done. You know, you can even, there's even ways to bypass it in Red Dead 1. No, not in this game. Like, you skin a big animal. And then not to mention, like, when I skinned the bear, I had to take the bear skin, put it on my horse. Yep. And I'm just like, okay, this game's a little too deliberate here at times. Like, I'm like, yeah. I want my video game to be video gamey. This is too trying to be realistic. And I don't like it.
So I take it you did not have the popular opinion of this game. Is that a spoiler? Was it a little bit too much for you?
I ended up loving it.
Okay, great. Oh, also alligators. Speaking of which,
at first, and then when I got to chapter 3 and I started to really understand the game mechanics, did you have any issue realizing that you need to eat, you need to sleep?
No, I think I came in kind of prepared for that. I think it should have been signposted a bit.
I had no idea what I was messing up on. I think either someone in the chat told me, the chat helped me out a lot. Like Nate and Kerry would tell me stuff that would help point me in the right direction. Because I just and I think I also watch a YouTube video. I always try to find those 10 things I wish I knew or 20, something like that.
I always do that with these kind of games. So yeah. So thinking back the first time I played it, I almost certainly did that. Like a spoiler-free, here's the basics of this game. So yeah, so I probably didn't have the same issues.
Because if you don't eat and you don't sleep, like when I first, I wasn't doing any of that, it will fuck up your cores, which you will die very quickly.
You will be fucked, just like real life.
Yes, but I don't expect that in my video game.
Yeah, I get it. All right, fair.
I don't play survival games. Did you mess with survival games?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely. There's a handful that I really like. I like The Forest quite a bit. Haven't played the sequel to that yet. Whether you count Minecraft as a true survival, I don't know.
Close enough. People do.
Yeah, but you don't really think of that as being a pure survival kind of.
I consider this survival. So
this was definitely, it had a lot of survival elements for sure. I don't think the main issue or the main idea around the game is survival. Otherwise, I'd call it a survival game.
No.
The way you would for Green Inferno.
Yes.
Where like that game, the main thing is to survive, and then there's also a story tacked on to it. This feels like a very narrative-driven game with very survival-heavy mechanics to it. That's the way I thought about it.
Oh, that's very fair. I mean, they're definitely in there, and if you don't play correctly, it can fuck you up. Like, I killed a few horses by accident because a couple times I rode them to death. I was
Oh
not
yeah,
happy.
which can happen in real life. That's a whole thing. One of my like, there's so much media around. That's the end of A True Grit. I don't know if you ever saw that. That's a
I
very
know of
big.
it. Never seen it.
Okay, so towards the very end, I'm not going to ruin it, but Rooster Cogburn's trying to race back at the very end, and the horse is starting to slow down and get like really, really tired, and he's about to fall out. And he pulls his knife, stabs it right in the haunches, and it causes the horse to get a burst of adrenaline, and then he can run another half mile to get him where he's going.
I assume the horse dies after that, right?
Yeah, that's part.
Okay.
Is that the horse dies? But yeah, he runs it till it gets exhausted.
I'm assuming that's a real life thing too. Like you could probably.
Yeah. Oh, very, very much so. Were you knowledgeable about very many westerns before coming into this?
Very, very few. I watch
Okay.
documentaries, but I don't watch
Right.
Western movies.
Oh, there's some really, really good stuff out there, especially if you like very character-driven stories or even some action. But even then, they're not known for being super heavy action. They're very introspective pieces, and I think the Western lends to that. Like the Western as a genre
I've
lends to
seen
that very well.
some of the Eastwood ones, but we're talking about like over a decade ago.
And that's more spaghetti Western, or even if you get
Okay.
into Unforgiven, which is revisionist Western, which is a different sort of genre. There's so much good stuff out there. Have you ever seen the movie No Country for Old Men?
Once, but I have no memory
is-
of it. But yes.
Okay, that is a Western, even though it's not the way you think about it. It's being set in the 1860s and they're riding horses around. But the narrative structure around that, like Cormac McCarthy is my favorite author of all time. I keep his books like where is it? Yeah, Blood Meridian is right down here, like on my shelf. Like I legitimately love Westerns. Lonesome Dove was at arm's reach here. Larry
Okay.
McMurtry. Look at how thick that book is.
Okay, that's pretty.
That is
I don't read many
Westerns
books anymore.
and how small that font. Like Westerns lend themselves to epics almost better than any other genre because you can tell these very long, expansive stories because it's a very long, expansive setting. Does that make sense? Like it's a lot of open plains and dudes spending time alone. Like it goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Also, Lonesome Dove is great. You can watch the series rather than that. I think totally, it's like watching a mini series, so it's like 6 hours. Like it's like
Lonesome Dove
watching
came up
Chernobyl.
actually.
Lonesome Dove is so fucking good. Oh my god, with Robert Duvall and Loving the Horrors, like it's so fucking good. Lonesome Dove. Sorry, just
Oh, you're
it.
fine. It fits.
I won't go back over it, but anybody listening to this that has not either seen or read Lonesome Dove and or has not read the book Blood Meridian, if you liked this game, both of those things you would absolutely dig.
All right. No, I just don't watch many.
Well, and I know that that like you say, you don't really read books, but have you ever heard of Blood Meridian?
I have not.
Okay, a lot of parallels with that. I'll go very, very short with it, but it's almost Dostoevsky-esque. Again, another one of my favorite books of all time. That's the brothers Karamazov, but set in the West. But Micah has a lot of parallels with a character in that book named Judge Holden, who they even make a reference to in this game as an Easter egg for just being this sadistic, awful bastard. Micah is a lot more of a rat and a lot more of just like a slimy fuck than the judge is. But the judge is a lot more of just a brutalist psychopath, even more than Micah is, if you can believe that. Somebody that somehow takes even more joy out of the act of killing everyone than even Micah does. Like I think it is my favorite book ever written, and I would argue very strongly as the best book that has ever been written. And I will fight you at the gas station if you disagree with that.
I used to read a lot, but now I just I don't. But
I do lots of audiobooks, even when I'm playing games and stuff. It's great having audiobooks.
I do podcasts for those moments. But when I was younger, I was trying to become a published author, and so all I would do is read and write all day long. But that was like 20 years ago. So
I still do a lot of it. It's somehow I'm still. In fact, my audiobook Harangi Fire will be arriving onto Audible and wherever else you can get your audiobook soon. Check out Harangi Fire, Horangi Fire. You know how to spell that. Audible.com.
Are you sure people do? I
I don't know. FIRE. There we go.
Some people don't know how to spell a lot of words, like trader. They don't know how to spell that.
Oh,
But,
wait.
you know
Is it traitor? Was that something else? Was it traitor as one that is treacherous, or traitor as one that exchanges goods for other goods?
I mean, it can be seen as both. I mean, if you
That's what I'm
accept $1
saying.
million
I mean,
jet
phonetically,
for free, I mean, that can fit. You know, that fits the word trader, I think.
you know what? That's a fair point. Someone can technically be both. Are we talking about a certain orange-skinned
Oompa Loompa?
blonde fella that doesn't pay people to build his golf courses for him?
Doesn't have to.
I did make an allusion to Alien versus Predator recently. You can fill in your blanks there. Not a certain
those shirts were
government
great.
fallout.
The memes were great.
Oh, it was great.
So back to Red Dead 2. What did you do any hunting?
I did. I actually enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fishing even more than I enjoyed the hunting. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy the fishing in this game. I love the fact that there was a variety of fish species in this, and it was a fairly realistic thing, but I also enjoyed the hunting aspect of this game. Didn't do as much of it on the second one because I knew it was like 60-hour plus a playthrough of this game. But I know definitely the first time I did a lot. I did a lot. Wait, what were the final hours you clocked?
For me, Steam says 70, but a good chunk of that was idle time.
Oh yeah, you just left it running.
I didn't have a choice.
Oh yeah, no.
Other things happened that had to take priority while I was playing the game.
I totally get it.
I would just pause it and do other things and then go back to the game.
Totally get it. I'm a father. I totally get it.
Wasn't that, but we'll leave it at that.
No, but that's fine. But now you can tell me that off of the thing. Hopefully it's not bad. Okay,
it's
good.
Just not something I'm willing to share officially.
You dirty dog.
So, but no, that was how I played some of this game. Plus, there were times where like I would have to go like pick up my wife from work, and I'm like, I can't save because this game does not have really good checkpoints. So I would just leave it running, and then come back and finish it.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, I did do the hunting quite a bit. It does get frustrating at times because of the pelts, and you have to get a very high-end pelt, which means you have to make very realistic shots, and you have to use the right kind of ammo for the animal, which I appreciated, but I get why it would frustrate people. Yeah, you can fuck up a pelt unless it's a legendary. What's that?
I did it all the time. I never saw better than a poor pelt because I just shot the fuckers. Like the only times I fought animals in this game was if they attacked my horse was the main thing. If you attack my horse, then we're fighting. Other than that, I killed a few here and there, but not like Red Dead 1 where I actively hunted.
Okay, I see.
Like the bear. He scared my horse, so I literally just shot him in the face.
You had to take care of it. Yeah, then you had to take care of it, obviously. I'm not judging.
I was worried he would chase me down, to be honest.
What was your favorite breed of horse?
You see, I don't know horses really well, and I didn't pay attention to what the game was telling me. I ended up using a pretty big black horse that I got early in the game. There's a story mission where the guy has you bring a horse into stable and wants you to sell it. One of the tutorial missions. And I didn't sell it. I'm like, no, I'll keep this. I'll just put him in the stable and I might need him someday. Well, I killed the horse because I ran it to death by accident because I was trying to escape the law. Didn't work out very well, by the way.
Yeah,
unfortunately. And then he became my horse, and I actually kept him from probably chapter 2 to the end of the game when he finally dies because he gets shot in the last mission.
Right. So
I was sad too, just like Arthur.
Yeah, exactly. No, I definitely had a very strong feeling about that.
But I don't know what breed it was. I mean, I know that there's a legendary horse. We talked a little bit about it. I didn't bother with any of that shit. I was like, I don't care.
Have you ever ridden a horse in real life?
Yes, but it's probably been over 20 years.
I gotcha.
And I have no interest in doing it again.
The only thing this game was missing was Icelandic horses. Mini horses. I wanted one. A mini horse.
Were they over here at the time?
Yeah, you can write it in. It's fine.
Oh.
There's a lion in this game. Come on.
Wait, there's a lion?
You didn't know there's a lion in this game?
No, I didn't do any legendary animals.
Oh my god, okay.
The one bear in the story mission.
How did y'all not talk about the lion?
I'm going to blame alcohol.
Oh my god. Y'all need to talk about the lion. Okay.
We can now.
So there's this, what's that?
We can now.
Okay. So there's this whole mission, right? Like a side quest. And Margaret, do you know Margaret?
I'm not sure who that is.
Okay.
Is that
okay.
His ex-girlfriend?
No, Haywood Margaret, right? Margaret. He's the circus guy.
Okay. I don't think I didn't mess with them or do anything, but all right, keep going.
Okay, so he has this thing where it's like, I have a tiger, and then you go and you look at the tiger, and it's just like a painted up big cat. He like held it down, right? And he's like, oh, I've lost my zebra, and it's literally just a painted horse. Like he's
Okay.
clearly scamming everybody, right? And then the final one is he goes, okay, I need you to find my lion. And you're like, yeah, sure, lion, right? He probably put like glued horsehair to a dog. And then you show up and there is a sure as shit lion in this game. And you can shoot it and skin it. There's a whole ass lion, and I'm pretty sure it's the only one in the entire game, and it looks really good. And they didn't have to do that, but it's really fun.
Okay. I did not run into any of that, but I didn't do any of the side missions really because time.
Oh, I got you. And also the lion, I just looked this up. The lion will kill you instantly if it jumps on you.
I mean, that is accurate. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you know the way lions go is they just grab your throat and just clench it up and then you're done. You ain't coming back for that. As
That
opposed
sounds
to
like instant murder.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. I would still rather get killed by a lion than a jaguar, just in case you're curious. If you know how jaguars actually attack.
Do they disembowel you?
Yeah, so what they do is they jump on your chest and they put your paws kind of on your nipple shoulder area, and then they just bicycle kick with their back legs and they just shred you from about nipple to taint, and you are hamburger meat. And the best news is you're still alive while you feel all of this. So given the choice, if there's ever a James Bond villain, just go ahead and pick the lion. It's easier.
Okay.
The things you learn when you have me on your podcast.
Oh yeah, we always end up talking about something to do with animals.
Can anybody see this at all? Can they see that I am wearing a hat currently to be in the mood? Okay, so do you know how okay, so for those that are wanting the theater of the mind, I'm wearing a cowboy hat right now. And a lot of people wear these as show, right? They want to cosplay cowboy. Do you want to know how you can spot the real deal, Mike? Because I'm about to show you. See that right there? That's sweat.
Oh, okay.
That is gross, but that's sweat. If somebody actually has that mark around where their hat band lies, you actually know that they do some work inside their hat, and they're not just wearing that to show off. So I'm sure that's a big problem out in Minnesota. In fact, I'm surprised you didn't wear your cowboy hat, Mike.
I don't have a cowboy hat actually.
What?
Oh.
You can borrow mine when I come up and visit.
I don't really wear hats much.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So
I got a spare Waffle House hat. You know, I usually wear.
I have never been to a Waffle House yet. I passed by one when I was in Nashville. Our hotel was across from one, but we ate better food than Waffle House.
What? That is impossible. There is not better food than Waffle House, and you have them close to you, at least or at least you must. Like I know that they have them up in the north now. I ate at one when I was, I believe, in Sandusky, Ohio, which is damn near Canada.
They're not near where I am. I have looked it up before. The closest one would be either in Missouri or Indiana, Ohio for me. Those are the closest. There aren't anything else in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. So
I am on the Waffle House website right now looking to see if that's updated. Oh my God, how do you live? I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it'd be Indiana, Ohio, or Missouri.
Yeah, so
wow.
I mean, I was near one in Nashville when I was in pretty sure it was Nashville, but yeah, I just didn't. We were eating hot chicken, so
which is good too. I mean, you don't have to eat hot chicken for every meal when you're in Nashville. I was there last year eating some hot chicken. I went out to Broadway. Was not impressed, but the chicken was pretty good.
I forget what the hell we had. We had something that people recommended, and I remember it was pretty good chicken. But I got to go down there again.
I don't remember where I ate. I mostly went to Nashville to visit the Hermitage and see the statue of Pekka Rinne, who's Nashville's greatest hero, as you obviously know.
I went there I don't know who that is actually. I went there partly because my wife wanted to go see. Well, we went to what the hell did we go there for? She just wanted to go to Nashville, but we ended up going to see the Titanic Museum down there and other stuff. So
the Satanic Museum.
Titanic, the boat.
Oh, because that would have been way cooler. I had no idea. I had no idea that there would have been a Satanic
Go to
Museum.
Salem. Maybe they don't have a Satanic Museum, but they do have like
Witchcraft is
devil
very different.
candles and stuff.
Look, I mean, I don't worship the devil, but I do agree with a lot of the things that he tells me to.
Salem was
That's
damn
very
cool, man.
different. That's very
Hell of
different.
that was hella cool. But so Red Dead 2, some of the things that I wanted to bring up to you. What did you think of going to Cuba? Like, did that throw you for a loop the first time?
Yeah, I feel like that bogged it down a little bit. Ultimately, I like the way it ended. It was the only part that I think that they could have trimmed it up on just a little bit. If there was a weak part, like ultimately, I got why it fit the narrative of it. They could have just took off, right? Like, was there a reason they had to go back?
Money.
Yeah, but like, come on.
Not really. I mean, they didn't have the money to run away because he spent what they took from the boat,
As he always
from the
did,
bank
yeah.
or whatever. No, whatever the hell he
Right.
robbed before. They spent all their money, so Dutch wanted to get back. Plus, what does any leader want is people that worship him. What are they without their worshipers? You know, if you're a crazy ass cult leader, you need your worshipers.
And I think part of that is also Dutch ultimately had to know that if he didn't keep going, he wouldn't really have a purpose. You always have to have something to struggle against. You always have to have a mission to be on. Otherwise, what are you even doing? As we found out even in the sequel, which is the prequel, the first Red Dead game, Dutch never gave it up. Like, he was living amongst the natives. He probably could have just hidden out, but he needed to rally an army to fight an all-out war against the United States government instead of just chilling out. In the epilogue, I mean, like, nobody really could calm the fuck down. Like, even John Marsden had such a hard time trying to build a ranch after living that life because his entire life was led in pursuit of something else. They were dogs chasing cars. If they ever caught the cars, they wouldn't know what to fucking do with it.
And I think that's fair too. If you grow up in that type of lifestyle and you're making money a certain way as a thief, because you can in this time, and all of a sudden now there's rules and there's like life is different, and all they knew was that kind of freedom.
And they'd been doing this, or at least some of them have been doing it for like 20 plus years, right? Didn't Dutch find Arthur like 20 years before? Like, this is all they had done in their adult life.
That like John and Dutch were kids when they came on. Like, there's comments.
Yeah.
Hosea was much younger. Like, they've been this is the way they lived because they could.
Right. And the West would have been much more free. Yeah.
You couldn't get caught as easily. I mean, as long as there's no witnesses.
Because this would have been, when does this game take place? It's like the year 1900, something like that?
God, I think
1898?
Yeah, something like that. And then it runs for like, God, we talked about, but I can't remember now, like 5 or 6 years. And then I didn't look up how long it is between 2 and 1. And
I feel like
1,
2 and 1 happens really quick because, like, Micah's death inadvertently leads to the events of Red Dead 1.
Yes, because they brought attention that they didn't need to themselves.
Right, because of that whole...
all John had to do was just lay low and live his life with his wife and his son and not go get revenge, but he wanted to get revenge. I mean, I don't blame Michael's piece of shit, but that then brings the law's attention.
It makes it worse, and that's what Abigail kept telling him to fucking do during the epilogue. And she's like, hey, just chill the fuck out. You do not owe a debt of responsibility to this guy's cows or whatever that bandit thing was. Like, lay low. Every time we go somewhere, you keep being yourself. You do not need to get revenge in the cycle. Arthur could not end the cycle, and it got him killed. Dutch couldn't stop doing what he was doing, getting revenge on others. In fact, earlier in that game, I believe Dutch specifically says, revenge is not a luxury we can afford. Remember that? And then what does he do?
That, yes.
Josiah gets killed, and he goes on a fucking revenge mission. Like, he like loses himself in that. Didn't take his own advice.
Yeah, that's when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
It's because Hosea was kind of holding him back from going crazy.
Does not take his own advice in that. And so ultimately no one ever learned, because if John had not gone after that, if John had just laid low and kept building his farm and Uncle was out there, then he would have been fine. Probably, like, would have just laid low, took Abigail's advice, ends up getting himself and her and Uncle killed ultimately in the sequel, as well as Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, and Dutch, funny enough, because the events of Red Dead 1. And then what happens at the end of Red Dead 1? Jack doesn't learn a goddamn thing.
And he murders the guy that murdered his father.
Yeah, and then he murders the guy that murders his father. You think that the U.S. government isn't going to come after him after that?
Well, it depends if they knew. I mean, at that point, it's a guy who's retired from the government. He's out in Mexico, I think, at the time. Like,
yeah, he's out in Mexico shooting ducks or whatever he's doing.
might not know. Like, there might be enough to be like, we don't know it. He could have been robbed because it. I mean,
But
it
but
is
do you think that would fit the tone of this game? That like this is the one time that revenge works.
no, but also I don't think we'll ever get a game that plays after Red Dead 1's ending. I don't think you can.
I think that you can. Funny enough,
I don't think Rockstar will do it.
yeah, I'm not saying that I think Rockstar will do it. I could write you a game in that if you're setting it like it is now, there were cars at the very end of Red Dead 1, right? There's like an armored car. It's set around World War One. Did you know at the advent of World War One, the Comanche Wars were still going on in my state of Texas?
Okay. That I did not know. My knowledge of Native American stuff, like when it comes to some of their wars, is not as good as I would like it to be. I'm just not as educated on that part of history.
The house that I'm living in right now is, I think, 118 years old. When it was built, Texas still had Indian wars going on. The Comanches were still a problem. It was at the very tail end of that. But the U.S. government was still putting a lot of money into it in the 20th century, sending troops out to West Texas to fight the Comanches. You should read about the last Comanche war chief, or at least listen to a podcast on it. It is fascinating. That like
YouTube.
You think of, or
I do
that,
YouTube
that too.
historical documentaries.
Just look up
sometimes.
last Comanche war chief. It is fascinating how that.
Okay,
went,
it just some of that. I'm a pretty good history buff with a lot of stuff, but there are holes in my knowledge, and I'm mainly I realize I'm mainly a World War II buff.
That's fine. But the narrative I would write for Red Dead 3, okay, is I would set it in the 1920s roughly, and I would make a completely different character in which the character is half a Comanche, and he's supposed to inherit the throne because his father is the war chief, and then his father's top rival ends up killing his father, and then it ultimately exiles him because he's worried about his own life, so he goes off and he joins a different gang, which is probably the last remnants of like the O'Driscolls or something.
Okay, that could work.
And then so it's this half native who's joining up, robbing mostly trains, because around that time in real life, trains were going even further west into West Texas, encroaching on Comanche land, the last remnants of that. So this is somebody that is both fighting the West from expanding out, but also the guy that stole his. I'm just writing.
Hamlet. You are right. I mean, there's enough historical.
Hamlet, right? Hamlet, which is where like father gets killed and then uncle takes over, right? But that Lion King, have you ever seen Lion King?
I have. More than once.
That's Hamlet, all right?
Okay.
Scar kills Mufasa and then takes over, and Simba has to run away. Then Simba grows up, kills the guy. It's a tale as old as time. It literally, that is also the tale of Vlad the Impaler. That is a real fucking thing.
Vlad the Impaler? I know about him, yeah.
Okay, but similar kind of thing, right? Is this guy that was supposed to take over in his father's place, gets killed by his uncle, takes over, but is leading the last of the natives against westward expansion. So this guy who is unseated from that throne, he's both fighting the westward expansion and then also his own uncle who killed his father. Because you're like, I should be in that place, but also killing him would basically allow the government to come in and take over everything. So now he is conflicted. Does he side with the inevitable progress, or does he take revenge and hope that he could lead his people against it? And ultimately, spoiler for this game that's never going to exist, he kills his own uncle, just like in Hamlet. And just like in Hamlet, it fucks him over. In The Lion King, it doesn't. But trust me, after the end of Lion King, it fucks over Simba. And he himself ends up getting killed because of it.
Okay, it sounds like it could work.
And then the West rolls him over. I'm saying and then at that point, it's like half Western gang, half the early parts of what we think of gangs as now. We're using more semi-automatic weapons. There are city streets. There are very slow cars. The horses are still fast. are faster than the horses are. So it's not like we're going into full-blown Grand Theft Auto, but we're not even LA Noire yet. It's like pre that area. And also, if you said it during the Roaring 20s, a lot of money was starting to come out west. Oil was starting to become a very big boom around that time, which means there's going to be a lot of money coming in, a lot of progress happening very, very fast. And the last vestige of that were the Comanche Wars. Rockstar, make that game, you fucking cowards.
They don't need to make others. They just have GTA that prints them money. So
Online, right? 6 will come out when, like, I will believe it when I see it.
that'll be the last game they ever make, probably. They'll just milk that. Anything else you want to say about Red Dead 2 that we haven't talked about yet?
I think I've covered it pretty well. Again, I love the animal stuff. The animal behaviors were incredible. The iguanas were very cute. I feel like there's not a lot.
Iguanas.
They're down in Mexico.
We're not. You mean Cuba in this game?
Cuba. Sorry. Now, why did I say Mexico? I'm just drinking with. Sorry. There are iguanas
In the whiskey.
in Cuba. Excuse me. Cheers.
Okay. I just had
Cuba. Sorry. I was still thinking about the revenge story down in Mexico. Cuba has iguanas.
Yeah, no, the animal
Yeah,
stuff.
other than that, I
just
think
didn't
it was
mess with
very well done. There's a lot of details in this game that I feel like were very overlooked in it. That they did not have to go that fucking hard on him, and they did.
Did you ever
and
check
I
out
saw-
the horse's dick to see it shrink in the cold?
Yes, in the mountains. The balls, it is called the Coriolis effect, and they did it incredibly well. Like a frightened turtle, the balls and dick just sucked them right back in. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful sight. We've all experienced that.
I never looked, and I also spent very little time in the mountains. I never went back after the game took me out of the mountains because I was like, fuck this.
You didn't like the mountains? I just wandered around the mountains just to see what I could see.
Too slow. Oh, that brings up another point I want to mention. How did you feel about the game being so deliberate, like looting people, grabbing items? I had a problem with it. What about you?
Because it felt too slow to you?
Yes.
Now, I could see why. I think that involves the mindset that you go into playing a game. And I think
it's a me problem.
Yeah, that what is that? The ludonarrative dissonance, right? It doesn't feel like a real game because it doesn't feel like real life because it's too realistic. Because there's so many shorthand things in games that happen that you become so accustomed to that when it's slowed down to an almost real life pace, it still doesn't feel like real life. It just feels like a worse video game.
When you're playing a game a week or more for a podcast, you don't like it when games make you take extra long.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, next time you have a game in this kind of way during the downtime, during the skinnings and everything, you can listen to a little bit of Harangi Fire, written by Cody Laveau, now available or soon to be available on Audible.com and wherever you find podcasts.
All right, we should go to your shelf stacking box, and I want to hear where you rank this game.
Man, I don't know, Mike. I'm conflicted. I don't know if it's better than Fallout or worse than Fallout. Isn't that the game that you hated the worst that you've ever done for this?
Yes,
Fallout 1. The worst game. Yeah, Fallout 1 I think was the worst game.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean,
you talk so much mad shit about Fallout 1.
That was a long time ago, though.
I know. I have a good memory when I'm not drinking whiskey. But anyway. Oh my God. It's amazing. I forgot Mexico wasn't in this game, but I still thought of games my mom found like episode 4 or whatever that was. But I remember that episode better than I remember ones that I've actually been on. I forgot what all I've done. I would say this is what's that?
I recorded everything with. I don't know what you've been on either. But
shoot, all 3 are like 2 Alice games, 3 Tomb Raiders, 3 Dead Spaces, the first Red Dead.
Fallout was episode 6. You were on Super Mario 64.
Yeah. I don't know. I've drank a lot of whiskey and I'm about to drink more. But no, this is a shelf, man. This is great. Right. This is a great game. I'm gonna play it again at some point. I realize playing this game now, it's something that I'm probably gonna want to revisit. Going back through it again really quick, I've noticed like this one was way more than it was pre-2020 because 2020 collectively wiped all of our memories on everything. It was like a factory reset for our brains, aka the before times. But going back now, there were so many things about this game that I had either forgotten or I had never seen the first time. And the first time I had been so much more deliberate than I was this time. So I think that not only is this going to be a shelf, but I think that Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that I'm probably going to revisit every 2 or 3 years. Like this feels like something that I could go back into and find new things with. Even if I don't do it the exact same way, probably won't even do it the exact same way. I think that there's so much nuance and so much to pull out of these characters, the way the story's written, knowing kind of how the story's already going to go, and then be able to put it into the giant greater picture of what this narrative is. I think I have to go back to it every 2 or 3 years, which is rare for like a non-puzzle game or something that you can just pick up and play. So in that way, it fits into all of those kinds of games where I play them every 1 to 4 years alongside Monkey Island, like the original Secret of Monkey Island, as well as Banjo-Kazooie. And yeah, I think that this game is so special, it's going to sit alongside that for me. In the same way that I read Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy every single year, and I have for the last decade. I think I'm going to revisit this game probably in 2027.
Okay. High praise.
That is how good I think this game is. I don't know if I've ever put my balls on the table so much for a game as I have for this particular game.
This game deserves it. So hey,
Cheers.
This is one of those games. So all right, and where can people find you at?
Oh, you can find me on TikTok under Cody Laveau. You can also find me on YouTube under Cody Laveau. I'm pushing that one extra hard because YouTube is currently paying me more money. Sip a beer to wet the whistle. I am doing a travel series known as A Redneck Abroad, so you can check that out. That's on YouTube and a TikTok also. I just did a series where I went out to Padre Island, camped out on the beach, caught a stingray. It was about 4 feet long. You can check that out. Went to the belt sander races. In fact, there's a very good chance, according to analytics, that if you saw a video recently about belt sander races, that was probably me, because like 2.5 million people watched that somehow. Went viral yet again. There's a whole hour-long video on that on you.com under Cody Laveau. I'm also the author of the book Harangi Fire. It's a Korean Viking fantasy novel. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, I am very proud of it. It is very well written. Came out at number 9 on Amazon's new release fantasy chart for the month of February 2024. It will be on Audible very soon. Look out for that. But you can buy it at all the places that you purchase books. And I guess Instagram, if you really want to. I post there once in a while. But mostly TikTok and YouTube. Google search Cody Laveau and you'll find me.
You come up.
I'm all over the place. I'm the first person. The Nazi has officially been buried in the SEO. Didn't want to fight for my name. I feel like I don't even have to mention his name anymore. I think he's working at Costco or something now. Changed his whole name, man. I offered to box him for use of our name, and he changed name to Cody Saint Laveau or whatever because he was too much of a chicken shit, and then he lost all of his SEO. So fuck him. He's a Nazi.
I always think it's funny how that guy, we've been talking about that guy for 6 years.
I don't know why he didn't want to fight that. Would you not want to? I'm sorry. I don't know why
you want to fight anybody for the record, but you got muscles.
No, I mean, tell him right? You wouldn't want to box that, would you, Mike?
I wouldn't want to box anybody. I am not in shape for the record.
I am tougher than a $2 steak.
All right, and stay tuned for the rest of our ranking.
Ooh, I can't wait to find out. I will be listening alongside of y'all. Was there a special promo code that you put into this episode?
Earlier, yes.
Man, I'm going to steal it. Quick.
No, I guess then we'll go to we'll go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Kerry, why don't you lead us in?
Oh, it's on the stack or the shelf. What is it that you love?
Shelf is the best.
Shelf. It's on the shelf for sure. Like I didn't finish it, and I definitely intend to go back and finish it, and not necessarily 100% it, but come pretty close. Also going to check out this online. So yeah, amazing game. It's gone from I would say it's in my probably like top 25 video games ever now. So
all right, and Ian.
Oh, it's sitting on my shelf right now next to Red Dead 1. It will always be there.
And Nate.
This is my favorite game of all time. Previously, that was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And this is going to go on my shelf because it's a beautiful video game.
It really fucking is. I don't think we even talked about the graphics or the music.
Like, my PlayStation 5 has so many screenshots from this game because, like, when you load in, it's like the game just makes a fucking postcard for you to take a picture of. You're like, that's the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen. How do they do it every time?
Game's amazing. And I'll go last. I'm going to put this in the shelf too. If you would have talked to me end of chapter 2, if I would have quit this game like it wasn't for the podcast, I would have been a box. I was having a bad time. And I just kept plugging away, and eventually it clicked. And this game is amazing. Don't play it on a time constraint like I did, but this game is so worth playing. I wouldn't say play the way Ian did and 100% it, because I'll never tell anyone to do that. But this is a game that there's just so much to it. Like, I fucking saw my horse shit every so often. I was like, that doesn't need to be here. But I see what you did there, Rockstar, not Rockstar. But, like, you know, little things like that. Like, it's a game, and it's a hell of a game. And I'm so glad I finally got to experience it. I'm really happy that this happened. It took me years, but I'm happy it happened. Yeah. Oh, and I shouldn't sure what we're talking about next week. Next week, you can hear me talk about a Zelda game. I'm going to be talking about Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, which I still need to finish.
Same. I got to about the maybe like an hour left to beat, maybe hour or two left in that game, and then put it down and never got back to it. But good game.
I mean, speaking of games that I was upset with when I started, that's another one right along that. Did not like that game at first either. I was like, this isn't that fun. And then hours later, I'm like, okay, I'm into it now. Yeah, that happens to me with games. Also, I think one thing I forgot to say about this game is too many choices for how to play. And I don't like a lot of choices in games. I want to be more straightforward, and this game is not straightforward. All right, then we should just go to plugs. And Kerry, where can we find you at?
Hey, I'm on Twitch and YouTube as Keruseta, Keroa. Not been very active this summer for most of the summer, so haven't been producing much lately, but check that out if you want to watch me modify and repair or just play Dark Souls.
And is your son still doing his YouTube?
Yeah, though I think he's in the same boat as me. He hasn't lately because of us being out of the country. But he's a Nature P Dragon, Natropy Dragon or Dragons. He does dragon puppets, and he has actually a few different channels, but that's his main one.
Okay. And Nate.
Hello, my name is Nate. You can find me on TikTok at Nate Does Comedy 79.
Have you posted anything new yet?
No, but you can find me on TikTok.
Every time we do this, I go to your page and pull you up. I'm like, oh, no new videos yet. That's what I was just wondering.
One day. It's tough being very self-conscious and then having to look at videos of you doing stand-up and trying to pick one without being like, God, I look like a fucking piece of shit here.
I get it. I don't do video, so I get it. I completely understand. I also don't do TikTok. I just can't get myself to fuck with it. I know I should. Like, every time I talk to you, I'm like, man, I should do TikTok. Like, just can't get myself to want to do it. So I don't. And Ian, where can people find you at?
Just Instagram where I post a bunch of drone stuff that I'm experimenting with. It's Aerith_33. Hit it. Tell me what you think. I don't get a whole lot of people give me opinions, so I'm always happy to get new ones.
It takes a while. Trust me, I know. I do see your posts too. I don't always comment, but I see them. I
appreciate
Instagram.
that.
All right, and if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 800 other episodes of this podcast. You can find everything we do on Podbean. If you want to hear our other Red Dead Redemption talk, there's 2 other episodes. You will find that in the show notes. Definitely go check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, and we have 1 to 2 Patreon polls every month. So you get to vote on some stuff that will happen on the show. So a great way to affect the show. If you want to be on the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, if you want to just lurk, join our Discord. It's free. We're always having new people join us and chat on there. We have a lot of good conversations, and Discord's awesome. That's also how I ask for people to join the show, and I'm always happy to have new voices on. I really try.
Yeah, Discord's popping.
And if you I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And also check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker and absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress. They talk about the MCU movies, which they just are about finished with, and then they're doing MCU adjacent movies. So definitely go check out that podcast too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Your partner.
Bye-bye.